When I'm cool, calm, and collected, you say that I'm mechanical. When I show you just a little emotion, you tell me that I'm being dramatic. What do you want?
I want out.
Sorry about the breakup.
Why are you acting like this?
This is not going to work out. I'll appreciate if you don't call or look for me anymore.
What?
Why did you break up with him?
He broke up with me. To Maureen and Paul. Cheers.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Hamujati kabisa. Kwani mnabubu suro aje?
Come on, just snap out of it. Please, you will kill us.
My people, ladies and gentlemen, my biggest barrier has been answered.
Now, that is a perfect example of a nightmare. Hey!
I know. You should see her. She's mwah. Oh, there goes my time. Get my books and bring them to the staff.
Okay.
Classmates, every Saturday on KBC.
Good morning. This is KBC Channel 1. You're watching Good Morning Kenya, and I'm Regina Manyara. We have so much in line for you. Being a Thursday, we say it here, being Thursday is a new Friday. But before we all get into matters entertainment, we have a little bit of news updates where we welcome your feedback on our social media platforms. My Twitter handle is at Ray Manyara. We have the official station handle at KBC Channel 1. Talking about news is that it will be soon mandatory for each and every grown-up in the country that is above 18 to contribute to NHIF. So it's open season for citizens to give their feedback regarding NHIF. Remember, 500 shillings is what is required at the moment for persons who are in the informal sector, while those who are in formal pay who earn a formal pay, it ranges on how much you exactly earn. So if you earn around 100,000, which is 17% of your gross pay, you are expected to pay a minimum of 1,700. So it's open season to give your views on that. And talking about news, the ICC issue is back, and yesterday the defense, Geshero's defense, came out to say that that particular witness who took the stand was actually double dealing the defense and the prosecution. That will be coming up in not too long as we tackle news that have been making headlines both locally, internationally and regionally. Introducing the rest of the crew.
Today, the pieces of red is all over.
It appears Jane is the only one who did not get the memo.
Yes, Steph. Mulikuwa na mkutano. It is okay. No weapon fashioned against behind my back. Shall prosper.
Where were you?
I was over here. You guys seemingly over there, but it is well.
Allah?
It is well. Ata ayeta. By that tumerabiano, friends.
Yes. Great. Good morning. My name is Victor Lowe. We are happy that you're up and early once again with us. It's Thursday. So stick with us until the end of the show, because if it's Thursday, you know how we do it. Karibu sana. I'm Victor Lowe.
A warm welcome once again to the program. I am Jane Wambui. As always, we appreciate that you choose to start your morning with us right here on Good Morning Kenya. Kama kawaida, nothing but the best. We absolutely would love to know where you are watching us from this morning. So go ahead and check in. Tuma salamu, tuma requests. Leo ni ile siku. Use the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. My handle is at Jane Wambui Doreen.
Leonie ile siku, and just as my colleagues have mentioned, Thursday is that easy day for us, so we have a lot of entertainment in store for you this morning, and that's why I urge you to stay put up until the end of the show to just catch up on what we really have lined up for you this Thursday morning. Many thanks for making time. I'm Doreen Arange Okelo.
Indeed, and just to remind you that we're going to be streaming live, or we're already streaming live this particular broadcast on our various social media platforms, and get tweeting include where you're watching this particular show from. Without further ado, let us bring you up to speed with what has been making headlines in the last 24 hours, and we start off with matters education, where the Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, has directed all school principals to recall all students who are sent home over fee arrears. Speaking in Nyeri County, the CS said the ministry will be conducting an audit in all the schools to ensure that all children are in for the national examinations, warning no student should be disenfranchised because of fee arrears.
Professor Magoha, who was in Nyeri County to commission junior secondary classrooms at Labura Mixed Secondary School in Kieni West, says,
I want to plead to our head teachers to please return all children whom they sent home for school fee balance. The exams are just a few weeks away. The government of the Republic of Kenya has already paid examination fees for all these children, both in public and private schools.
The CS noting that the first phase of the construction of classrooms for the competency-based curriculum is complete.
Remembering that we started from 6,400, we have completed 2,000, we have commissioned over 250, and work is going on. My first strong message is to the contractors, who are basically the youth at large and mainly near the schools, which are scattered all over. But I'm very proud to be a Kenyan because of the way they have conducted themselves. The quality of work is very good. The cost is as per the schedule. And I want to reaffirm to them that we shall ensure that they are paid as quickly as possible.
90% of books required for grade 6 have already been distributed, with the remaining 10% expected to be dispatched by next week.
The books for grade 6 have been distributed close to 90%. They will be 100% next week.
According to the Ministry of Education examination timetable, the Kenya Certificate of Primary Education examination will commence on 7th March 2022 to 10th March 2022, with candidates for the Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examination expected to write the exams between 11th March 2022 and 1st April 2022.
Now to the corridors of justice. Isaac Ibrahim Robo, the driver of the two Cuban doctors who were kidnapped in 2019, has been found guilty of committing a terrorist act. The court found that the driver was actively involved in the kidnapping and abetting a terrorist act. Robo will be detained, awaiting sentencing on the 2nd of March this year.
Mohamed Abdi Mahmoud has been reinstated as Wajir governor. The Meru High Court declared the swearing-in of Deputy Governor Ahmed Mukhtar as governor as null and void since due process was not followed. The judgment delivered on Wednesday directs that Mukhtar remains as deputy governor for the remaining electoral term, since there was no public participation in the removal of Mohamed as governor. Elsewhere, Isaac Ibrahim Robo, the driver of the two Cuban doctors who were kidnapped in 2019, has been found guilty of committing a terrorist act. The court found that the driver was actively involved in the kidnapping and abetting a terrorist act. Robo will be detained, awaiting sentencing on 2nd of March 2022. Petitioners opposing to the controversial leasing of Mumias Sugar Company, led by senior counsel Paul Muita, claims the process was a well-executed 30 billion shillings fraud executed by the administrator. Appearing before Justice Alfred Mabea, Moite faulted the Mumias Sugar Company administrator Rao Ramana for claiming that West Kenya Sugar Company which had bid 36 billion shillings, lacked capacity to manage the debt-ridden sugar mill.
Now we cross over to the UAE, where President Uhuru Kenyatta has assured global investors that Kenya is open and safe for business. He spoke when he launched the celebrations to mark the Kenya National Day at the Expo 2020 Dubai. President Kenyatta said his administration has put in place a legal framework for investment that provides adequate investor protection in line with most international standards, including safeguards for property rights.
President Uhuru Kenyatta says Kenya enjoys political and economic stability, is a fully liberalized economy, a large domestic consumer market, a youthful, skilled and productive labor force, as well as a modern infrastructure network, attributes which make Kenya the location of choice for multinational companies and a leading destination for foreign direct investment in the region.
That Kenya is open, that Kenya is safe, that Kenya looks forward to your business, to your partnership. The legal framework for investment provides adequate investor protection in line with most international standards, including safeguards to property rights.
President Kenyatta said Kenya is keen to build new trade relationships with the Gulf Cooperation Council states and other countries participating in the Expo 2020 Dubai, as well as attract new investment and bring tourists.
That we seek to expand trade with the Gulf Cooperation countries and the world.
He expressed confidence that as the largest economy and business hub with sufficient capacities in trade facilitation and logistics to service over 11 hinterland countries in the Eastern and Central Africa region, Kenya is in a strong position to expand its trade and economic horizon for the benefit of its people.
We are in a strong position to expand trade, and Kenya, without doubt, is the largest economy in Eastern Africa. It is the business hub for the region and has sufficient capacities in trade facilitation and logistics to serve over 11 hinterland countries in Eastern and Central Africa.
The UAE welcomed ongoing discussions to establish a new framework for cooperation on a wide range of areas such as food production, infrastructure, digitization and renewable energy.
A multitude of areas of priority to our two countries, including food production, infrastructure, digitization, and renewable energy, among many others.
Currently, trade is skewed in favor of the Gulf where Kenya is concerned, and majority of investors, especially local, are looking at the Dubai Expo 2020 to increase their portfolio in the Gulf. Now, crossing over to the ICC, where the trial of lawyer Paul Gishoro it entered its second day, and the defense lawyers there, poking holes into the testimony of the first prosecution witness. Now, Gishoro's lawyer, Michael Kavanas, questioned the motive behind the witnesses' recorded conversations, claiming he was coached before his allegations against Gishoro were tape recorded by the prosecution team. Witness P800, whose face and voice was distorted for his protection, however, refuted the defense claims that he was indeed coached. Ben Chumba reports.
A day after the first witness took to the stand to testify against lawyer Paul Gishoro, who is facing 8 crimes ranging from witness tampering to corruption before the International Criminal Court (ICC) in Hague, the defense lawyers tore into his testimony.
You told us yesterday you ticked up all these boxes. Please, don't have amnesia now.
You've just told me also that there were so many pages.
Okay, all right, fair enough. My fault. You got me there.
During the cross-examination, Gishoro's lawyer Michael Kavanas questioned the motive behind the witnesses' recorded conversations with the prosecution, saying it happened during a private meeting in 2014.
You had made contact with the OTP saying, hey, I want to come back into the fold. I want to be part of the organization again. Please take me back. And then they called you back and said, okay. And they had this conversation, and that was on 14 March 2014, and I have it right here. Does that ring a bell now?
Yes, I know. I made accepted to go back.
Okay.
Canava's father questioned details of the meeting and why the witness did not mention it until yesterday when the trial began.
If we want to go into private session, I have no problem in doing this entire trial in private session. But if the prosecution is going to bring this individual here, and this person is going to be giving speeches about how he was threatened and how this and how that, and I'm not able to let the public also know that this person is a first-class confabulator, then I think it's not a fair and open public trial.
According to Gicheru's lawyers, the witness was coached before his allegations against Gicheru were tape-recorded by the prosecution team.
So what we're going to do is record our interview with you. Answer? Yes. Let me pause. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Witness P800, whose face and voice were distorted for his protection, however refuted the defense claims that he was coached.
They preferred me as a liar, even though it is his line of asking questions. I will request that the council respect my integrity, because if I was a liar, all the information that I brought to this court will not be here. But the information I brought to this court is of substance. That's why we are discussing about it today.
Prosecutors allege that Gicheru was among a group of conspirators that approached prosecution witnesses and offered them money to recount their evidence and withdraw from the case against Deputy President William Ruto and Joshua Sang.
We'll be keeping tabs on that particular case that is ongoing at the ICC. Now back to the local political scene. Deputy President William Ruto is promising to ensure that by the end of December 2022, every Kenyan will have access to the National Hospital Insurance Fund cover if elected president. He said his administration would also pump 100 billion shillings towards creating jobs for the youth and another 50 billion shillings to fund small-scale traders to boost their businesses.
The political battle for Mount Kenya region's votes continued on Wednesday. With Deputy President William Ruto leading the Kenya Kwanza Brigade in campaigns in Murang'a County. They made several stopovers in Kandara constituency before heading to Kenol for the mega rally. Here, the DP promised to focus on youth employment and revival of agriculture sector through improved fertilizer prices and elimination of middlemen.
Ile pesa munakopa kwa mashailok, ile pesa munakopa kwa fuliza. Sasa tutaweka hazina maalum, pesa ya serikali bilioni 50 ya kusaidia hawa wafanyabiashara wa chini. Mimi nawaambia tunaweka pesa ya kutosha, tupunguze gharama ya mbegu, tupunguze gharama ya mbolea na tuondoe mabroka na makatel.
Ruto said he would ensure that by the end of December 2022, every Kenyan is covered under NHIF.
Ili mwananchi wa Kenya asiuze shamba yake tena, asiuze ploti yake tena, asiuze ng'ombe yake tena, asiuze mali yake tena, ati anaenda kulipa bili ya hospitali.
His ally Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi dismissed the competence-based curriculum as strenuous to the parents and teachers.
Tukienda pale tunataka tuweke laini ili mfumo wa elimu ambao utakuweko utaeleweka na wazazi na walimu na wanafunzi na gharama iwe ya kutosha.
Ukizungumza na wanafunzi hawaipendi. We shall make sure that there is proper consultation in the reforms in our education system.
Sisi chama yetu watu wa mlima ile itaunda serikali ni UDA.
Na tuko na sera mzuri ya kubadilisha maneno ya wakulima tuko na guaranteed minimum returns katika hasla. Lakini sasa sisi tumetoka kwa mapango ya vitandawili, tumeingia kwa mpango wa wili. Tunaelewana?
The battle for Mount Kenya continued on Wednesday with Deputy President William Ruto taking the Kenya Kwanza Brigade to woo voters in Murang'a County, where he promised to improve the economy through improving the agricultural sector, while at the same time providing job opportunities for the young people.
Meanwhile, the United Democratic Alliance will conduct its nominations from the 9th to 16th of April this year. Its National Elections Board Chairman Anthony Mwaura urged aspirants to pay the nomination fee by 28th of February.
His Excellency, the Deputy President William Samoei Ruto, who is our party leader, has personally given his undertaking that the nominations will be free and fair. This means the party has no preferred aspirant and it has not set aside any direct ticket.
Now, 3 governors from Ukambani region have rallied locals to back Raila Odinga for presidency in the August 9th general election. Governors Charity Ngilu, Alfred Mutua and Kivutha Kibwana said being out of government had cost the region immensely in terms of development. The trio said time was ripe for Raila presidency, noting that the ODM chief was best suited to succeed President Uhuru Kenyatta. The leaders urged Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka to join them in Azimio.
Tutapitia mlango wa nyuma akiingia awe rais wa Kenya. Unataka mlango wa nyuma au mlango wa mbele? Unataka mlango wa mbele. Hivyo sisi tumekuja hapa. Wengine wanakuja wakiwaambia ngojeni, tutawaambia sisi wa Wiper.
Hata president sasa amesema ni Raila, si ndio? Kwa hivyo sasa sisi hatuwezi kupoteza miaka yetu 10 tukose kwenda na yeye na anashinda. Tunataka tukose kura zetu. Tunataka tukose. Na huyu jamaa tunajua kwamba yeye alisema sasa ni 35% ya devolution ya ugatuzi. Na tunajua kwamba ilikuwa 15 na tumeona mambo yale yamefanywa na 15%. Inamaanisha sasa tutafanya maendeleo ya mashinani.
Sisi tunataka pesa zetu ugatuzi tuletewe pesa hapa. Wakati watu hawana pesa, mpango wa social welfare ni kitu kinafanyika. Hata Amerika wana stamps, food stamps. Unapata pesa kwa mfuko kama kijana. Ndio tuweze kusonga mbele katika mikakati ya maisha yetu.
Now, away from matters politics, though we'll be keeping tabs on what is happening on the campaign trail, we delve into matters business and we start off with what's happening in Dubai, where Kenya could soon have an edible oil manufacturing plant following talks between the government and a Russian investor who has expressed interest in setting up the factory. This is among many investment opportunities the government is looking to secure at the ongoing Expo 2020 Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. According to Trade Cabinet Secretary Betty Maina, the Expo 2020 Dubai has raised Kenya's profile as an investment hub in Africa and as the country targets to become a manufacturing powerhouse. Ronaldo Willie reports.
It is the third day here at Expo 2020 Dubai, where Kenya has been celebrating National Day with visits by President Uhuru Kenyatta and his high-level trade delegation to discuss business opportunities that are available in Kenya, as well as ensure that Kenyan products have access to the Gulf Cooperation countries as the country looks to grow its export base. Now we spoke to Trade Cabinet Secretary Betty Maina on what transpired today, and this is what she had to say.
I think it's been very exciting for us being present here in Dubai. We are at the World Expo 2020. We've been here since October when it opened, and we'll be here until the end of March when it closes, because it's a period of 6 months. But for Kenya, we had our National Day on the 16th of February. We were very honored to have His Excellency the President join us and showcase the day. But for us as Kenya, it wasn't just the morning of 16th of February. We've had a series of activities this week, because our presence at the Expo is not to sell goods just during these 6 months, but to sell the country, sell the brand, make people more aware of our country, and that's been really achieved at the pavilion. It's been mostly digital. It is digital, but people go away with a lot more images than we just had a few products. Now, in addition, for this week, the Kenya Week, we've also had specific business forums where we focused on the goods that we grow in Kenya that can be sold in this region. Given the fact that this is the Gulf, we have clearly focused on food, whether it's meat, whether it is milk, vegetables. We've also focused on flowers, we focused on nuts, all the products that Kenya is good at and can be sold in this region. And the business engagements we've had is very, very encouraging that we can expand our share of the pie in this part of the world. Met with a Russian investor or Russian company that is a large company in their country in edible oil. They have an interest in expanding their foothold into East Africa. At present, their interest is obviously trading, because that's how you enter a market, but we're encouraging them to also consider setting up a refining plant in Kenya, setting up a firm to grow the raw material. So those are conversations that we will continue to nurture over the coming days.
Just to encourage Kenyans to come and invest in Dubai. There are lots of opportunities for investment. We are also encouraging investors from Dubai to come and invest in Kenya. We as Kenya Investment Authority are willing to hold your hand and to take you through the journey of investment. We have a one-stop center at Kenya Investment Authority with different agencies that help in facilitation of investments. Yes, so we encourage all of you to just come and visit us. We'll walk you through the journey. We'll show you the investment opportunities that are available. We also have aftercare services after you register your investments with us.
The ball is now in Kenya's court as the country looks to tap into investments that will ensure the country grows economically and SMEs have access to this competitive market. Reporting for Channel 1 from Dubai, United Arab Emirates, I'm Ronald Owini.
The Dubai Expo 2020 taking place there, and Kenya really posturing to attract not only foreign direct investment but also have our local investors invest in the Gulf. We'll keep tabs on that. Now we come back to the local scene and delve into matters agriculture, where dairy and coffee farmers are set to benefit from a 2.3 billion shillings funding from a Swedish International Development Corporation agency. Now the funds, which will be disbursed in form of loans, will see farmers access credit to invest in the value chains to boost earnings.
Agriculture lending constitutes only 4% of the country's total loan book due to what financiers term as high risks involved in the sector. This has seen smallholder farmers grapple with limited financing. Swedish International Development Corporation Agency has joined organizations extending credit facility to farmers with a 2.3 billion loan facility getting the dairy and coffee value chains.
Start a process of identifying the right organizations, do capacity building for them to be able to be ready to access the credit.
In the 5-year program, SIDA plans to offer guarantee facility for farmers accessing loans from a select financial institutions.
will support access to finance to farmer-based organization through commercialized loans, where CEDA is able to provide a credit guarantee.
The credit facility will target smallholder farmers, especially women who form a majority of agriculture labor force, but lack collateral to access financing to invest in their farming ventures.
It will not lend directly to women farmers or to youth. We will lend to the farmer-based organizations and the cooperatives, and they will then lend to their own members.
Already, 30 farmers' organizations have been approved to access the credit, ranging between 3 million shillings and 50 million shillings.
Beneficiaries currently have already been identified, they applied, and we have done assessments to identify the right ones which are ready for receipt.
To the sporting arena, FKF Caretaker Committee's efforts to have Harambee Starlets play Uganda in the Africa Women Cup Nation qualifier match proved futile after the Confederation African Football, that is CAF, failed to respond to their request in time. Consequently, the committee has dissolved the team's camp at the Kasarani Stadium. The team, coached by Alex Alumera, was scheduled to face Uganda yesterday in Kampala and play the reverse fixture here in Nairobi on Sunday. CAF cancelled the match, handing the Ugandan team a direct qualification after a letter written by former FKF CEO Barry Otieno suggested that Kenya was not in a position to play the match. According to FKF Caretaker Committee, Barry has been summoned to appear before the Directorate of Criminal Investigations on Monday next week for questioning. Now we'll keep tabs on that and also follow up with that particular follow-up on Monday, where Barry Otieno is expected to appear at the DCI. I'm sure to answer to questions to why he wrote such a letter and in what capacity was it correct and such. We have so much lined up for you in as far as this particular broadcast is concerned. Remember, Thursday is a new Friday. However, there's lots of information that is available on our website regarding the stories that we have highlighted for you, as well. So much more. That is www.kbc.co.ke. In a short while, we're going to be focusing on what other dailies have picked up as news worthwhile for you and I. Do not go away. We'll be right back.
that are here, ready, lined up for you.
My name is David Paul. I'm in grade 5. I'm 11 years and I sing. I love singing.
He's not as qualified a wife as you think she is.
What did you say?
Pinky, you're so beautiful.
You've said that numerous times already.
I'm telling the truth, really.
Jack, Pinky bought this for you. I'm guessing you like it.
Jack, didn't you say you don't like fish?
What do you want, Jenny? You did this on purpose, right? You happy to put me in this awkward situation?
Jenny.
Hi.
Jack?
Theirs will never be paradise again. Ain't no romance without finance. Let's make this place as chaotic as possible.
Postpone rights zao watoto mpaka lini?
I'm not your in-law. I'm not cut out for domestic work.
And you still wonder why your marriage is in shambles.
Unatumiaga moyo kufikiria badala ya akili.
The Wadis and the Jemedaris will always be a family. And you, Christine, will remain to be an outsider.
Welcome back, and in the headlines begins right now, starting off with the Star newspaper. On the front page, Ruto maintains lead, Raila gains in Central. ODM leaders' growth in support seems to have reached a plateau. This according to a survey which was done by Radio Africa, which says that DP maintains a 12% lead ahead of Odinga. We have got Kalonzo Musyoka at 1.5% and Musalia Mudavadi at 1.1%. That's on the front page of the Star newspaper. ICC bribery witness, a liar, says Gisheru's lawyer Michael G. Caravans told the court that the character of witness P0800 was in question and that even the office of the prosecutor had viewed him as a liar. The case still continues at the Hague in Netherlands. Hospital man gets 230,000 shillings compensation despite rotting chicken. That's according to court. The reason why? Because he was fired. There was no law. The allegation that the store was a mess was not in line with his duty. So it was unlawful termination. Of course, that story of Ruto maintaining a lead ahead of Raila Odinga in Central. According to the survey, 47.1% of the respondents say that they would vote for Ruto if the presidential elections were held today, compared to 35.1% that is for Raila Odinga. Car grants exit package push house budget above 50 billion shillings. Now, this is what's happening. The Budget and Appropriations Committee has set the ceiling of the legislators' allocations at 50.2 billion shillings. Now, the budget report also says that a further 6.67 billion shillings will go for gratuity for exiting members and staff, 337 million shillings for the post-retirement medical scheme, and 500 million shillings to enhance the mortgage fund. Okay, there you have it. And very quickly, in terms of insurance claims drop as tough checks keep fraudsters at bay. Perhaps Regina will talk briefly on this later on, why it happened, because they had to put some tough measures in terms of claims on insurance claims. There you have it. And in sports, very fast, Omanyala again faces Olympic champion Jacob at Levine World Athletics Tour in France today. Of course, Omanyala, this comes fresh from breaking the national 60-meter record that is in Marseille in France. So Omanyala in action today. And lastly, Tusker head coach Robert Matano says that his team is doing not so bad, despite holding each other at a 1-1 draw with Ulinzi. That was yesterday in Nakuru County. That was on the Star newspaper. Jen.
All right, let's quickly go through the front page of the Daily Nation. That story concerning Gisheru dismissing the bribery witness, of course, finds its way here on the head of the Daily Nation. The other stories in regards to MPs in the 5 billion plan to check the cost of fuel, all in line with the bid to bring down the cost of fuel and petroleum products in the country, saying that the allocation will top up Petroleum Development Fund. Now, coming to the main read, of course, it is politics with Uhuru to endorse Raila at Sagana 3. This is a meeting that allies of the president and former Premier Raila Odinga have termed as a looming tsunami. And this is so given that this is the third time that His Excellency is actually convening a meeting at the Sagana State Lodge, which seems to be his preferred launch pad for political offensive moves. And this time around, just a few days before the Jubilee and ODM NDCs that will be happening on the 25th and 26th of February. Coincidence? Well, we'll just wait and see how that will play out. Then the other story is in regards to the diplomatic row with the DRC over the deputy president's cow remarks. This is a story that has been captured here in such great detail. And responding to this was Kenya's ambassador to the Democratic Republic of Congo, Dr. George Masafu, who yesterday was on a massive charm offensive to calm the tension that was triggered by the remarks that were made by Deputy President William Ruto, which simply just started as a loose remark in this campaign trail. But according to a statement that was released by the embassy, and in this particular statement, they actually referred to the Deputy President as Mr. William Ruto, disregarding his title as Deputy President. And mind you, this is information that came through the embassy, and according to just a piece that was extracted from that particular excerpt. Maybe I'll be getting back to that story in just a bit. Doreen?
All right, so just before we continue with that particular story, because it has also been captured on the People's Daily, how about we start with the main header this morning, and it's all about politics. And UDA becomes the first party to set dates for the primaries. This is ahead of the nominations, and thereof also ahead of August 9th general elections, whereby the party primaries will be held between April 9th and 16th. So even as that is happening, just as it also, this story found its way on the GMK news briefs, whereby they're saying that they will make sure they hold free and fair nominations, jitters are now raking Azimio parties, as smaller outfits are now accusing ODM of arrogance and intolerance, and they insist that they will hold their own primaries. Part of what came out from these smaller parties, particularly DAP, is that they are saying that if they're not careful, then ODM will dictate to them what exactly to do, even in areas where they are experiencing massive support. So that is what is coming out even as they prepare for the nominations, which are slated to happen on the 30th of April ahead of the August 9th general elections. And away from that to some bit of health matters, is it time to discuss face masks? This is what medical experts are divided on. Remember that there are some countries in the Western and actually there are some Western countries which have discarded this face mask, and over the past few weeks the country has been recording a low positivity rate when it comes to COVID-19, and so some experts are divided on whether or not to continue exercising that wearing of face masks or to discard that. So when we get to the details, I'll be telling you more about that and why they are in division when it comes to that. And again, curtains come down on vocal Serut, that is the former Bomet MP, that is the former Mount Elgon MP, that is John Bomet Serut, who succumbed to cancer yesterday morning at Nairobi Hospital. He was aged 67. And again, also the constituents had so much to say in respect to the former MP, that is Serut. And lastly, schools shut indefinitely after a student's death. You can remember that this particular story really made its way on mainstream media. That was early this week. This is after the death of Faith Jelimo, a Form 2 student at Pumwani Girls High School in Baringo County. The parents came out to really just say what had happened or transpired before the death of their daughter, and that also caused a lot of commotion in the school, and this is what has prompted the closure of that school in that particular county. Ray,
quick overview of, the copy of the Standard this morning being the 17th. So matters of politics take center stage with a header make or break for Raila Ruto on BBI ruling. There's been a lot of speculation as to the verdict. What will the Supreme Court verdict be in as far as whether the BBI is confirmed, will it continue or not? And whichever way the judges rule, there's definitely going to be some winners and some losers. So uncertainty around that as we still continue moving to, we're on the political campaign, so to speak. Then matters of NHIF. To pay more for NHIF under proposed staff changes. As I mentioned earlier, those who are in informal, jua kali, so to speak, those who are not in a formal payment, minimum amount required for those who are above 18 is 500 shillings, while those who, the minimum, 1,700, the amount employed Kenyans pay monthly. However, this will be reviewed under the proposed amendments, and this is going to be determined by how much you earn. For instance, if you make 100K, monthly income, and we're talking about gross monthly income, you are going to be paying 1,700. However, if you are making 6 digits, if you're doing the 6 digits, so to speak, that's $1 million. The proposed premiums is going to go up to 17,000. Yes, 17,000 per month if you're earning a million shillings. However, if you're earning 200,000, it's going to double from 1,700 to 3,400. Basically, it is 17% of your monthly income. Those who earn between 50,000 and 50,000 and 60,000, you're under the proposed new rates, so to speak, payment rates, you're going to be coughing up 1,200 every month. These are some of the proposed changes, and this comes barely a week after President Uhuru Kenyatta launched the rollout, national rollout of the HUHC in Mombasa. Remember, it will be mandatory, and if you fail to actually adhere to this, you are likely to incur a 20,000 shillings fine, 20,000 shilling fine for those who fail to actually pay this. However, it is not cast on stone. It is open for Kenyans to give their views before this is implemented. So the government is open to hear interested parties to give their views on the NHIF that is intended to be implemented through 5 new regulations, and once they become law, those who fail to comply will be denied government services and also be charged an additional fine. Matters of ICC also find themselves on the front page, where now the defense ICC witness was coached to fix Ruto. This is according to claims made by lawyer from the defense team that accuses that first witness, that is P800, whose voice and face were distorted for their security, saying that the first witness against the lawyer Paul Geshoro is double dealing and tampering with witnesses while also working with the prosecution during the investigations of the 2007 election violence. That's just but a sneak peek of what has been captured by this particular daily this morning. You can find further details on our website, that is www.kbc.co.ke. For now, how are major roads looking like this morning? Over to you, Ayeta.
All right, so let's take a look at how our roads are doing. And today we'll have a focus on one of the major roads, which is quite a busy road. This is Jogoo Road. just to see how it's going on, what's going on around this route. So usually in the morning there's heavy traffic when going to the central business district, and it can be seen in some parts of Jogoo Road. But just as you join in from the Donholm intersection, or what used to be the Donholm roundabout, the road is quite open all the way to some sections as you approach, some section around Makadara area. We see some gridlock, not too much of it. We see the maroon representing, standstill traffic, but the orange shows that the traffic is moving steadily. So this is not too bad. And it goes all the way. We have the orange and maroon going all the way to areas of Motela region. So it shows that the traffic is moving slowly, but at least there is some movement on the road. So nothing that will keep you for too long as you head to the CBD. Just after you pass the Rikana roundabout, the road opens up really good, approaching the city center still. Again, also areas of Kaloleni, the road is quite clear. We see the green and the orange are representing a good flow of traffic. There's free flow of traffic up to areas around the city stadium roundabout, where we see some red, which there's nothing to worry about actually, because it's all good and opens up all the way to Ladis Road as you get into the CBD. And it goes all the way there. It's still open, so this road is quite good this morning. As you join in the Haile Selassie through the Mudhurwa roundabout, the road looks quite good all the way past, the Chonamba roundabout, or if that's how you refer to it. It's just close to Easy Coach and a coach there. The road is quite good as you approach, again, the roundabout as you enter town. Those coming from the city center heading to areas of Jogoo Road, those are the estates that are served by this Jogoo Road. Jogoo Road is actually known to serve many estates, and most of these estates are quite old. They have been there since the colonial period. So this is one of the reasons why this road is actually very busy and heavy on traffic during rush hour. But this morning it seems to be quite good, especially those coming from the city center heading to areas of Jogoo Road, and those going to areas of Manyanja, joining from the Donholm intersection from right here. So everything is good. Those coming, also joining in from Lusaka, Likoni Road into Jogoo Road, the area is all nice. So if you're using so today is a good day to use Jogoo Road. Another route, alternative routes to use, maybe is the Easily Avenue, and as you join into areas of Pumwani and getting into the CBD. So that's how the road looks like at exactly 7:24. Let's get more into the entertainment, since today is Entertainment Thursday. Some good music and great conversations coming up in just a while. Don't go away. We take a small break. We'll be right back.
Keep abreast of the developments live from the National Assembly and the Senate.
Honourable members of Parliament.
The questions.
When is the construction expected to commence?
The motions.
Beg to give notice of the following motion.
The debate.
Will as many as one opinion say aye?
The statements.
A statement on an issue of general topical concern.
The petitions.
Order number 4, petitions.
Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1 and Radio Taifa for live proceedings from both houses of Parliament from Tuesday to Thursday. Live, uncensored, unedited. KBC, your national broadcaster.
kupitia uongozi wa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta. Serikali imetekeleza miradi kadhaa ya ujenzi wa nyumba za bei nafuu kwa manufaa ya Wakenya. Wiki hii kwenye Project 254.
I have said it before, but I'll say it again. Kenyans made it clear that they want to live in decent homes.
Rais Uhuru Kenyatta amejali mtu wa chini sana, kwa sababu nyumba kama hizi ukienda ununue hata uwanja yako uanze kujenga itakukosti hata sana.
Siku hizi tunakaa makao mazuri, tunakaa nyumba nzuri. Zamani hatukuwa na choo, tulikuwa na tupa, lakini siku hizi hatutupi.
I called you earlier and we agreed. Do you know how bad you're making me look right now? What do you want from me, Richard? When I'm cool, calm, and you say that I'm mechanical. When I show you just a little emotion, you tell me that I'm being dramatic. What do you want?
I want out.
Sorry about the breakup.
Why are you acting like this?
This is not going to work out. I'll appreciate if you don't call or look for me anymore.
What?
Why did you break up with him?
He broke up with me. To Maureen and Paul. Cheers.
Mundos divididos por una sombra de traición.
I'm not going to leave this town until I've made sure that your alleged love doesn't result in Mariella's ruin.
Well, right now, I'm only interested in protecting her.
Well, you better be.
Going there?
I have the whereabouts of the second witness. I was wondering if he's the one that we are looking for.
So what then, boss? Are you gonna let Mariella continue bothering you?
No, I won't let her. Actually, I'm working on a permanent solution. But this time, I don't need to kill anyone.
What is it?
I don't care, because he doesn't love me. He'd do it out of obligation. Stop fooling yourself, Lauren.
Put that gun away!
This man is not allowed in here.
I ordered you to put it away.
I said he's not allowed
Put it away!
Lying heart. Fue sembrando el veneno y la ambición.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us this far. We are glad you are with us. In case you are just joining us, Karibu tena sana. This is Good Morning Kenya. I am Jane Mamboy. We are using the hashtag Good Morning Kenya on Twitter. Our official station handle ever remains to be at KBC Channel 1 across all the social media platforms. My handle is at Jane Wamboy. We welcome you to be part of this discussion. Share with us your thoughts, your comments, salamu, send in your requests. By the way, today, tunawachezea mangoma kadhaa here and there. We welcome you to share all that goodness with us. So right now we want to get started with our first conversation, and this is all about the Hult Prize. What is it, you ask? Let us find out together. And to help us with this conversation with us in studio, we have two guests. I'll start with the lady to my extreme right. She is Hannah Nungari, who is the Vice Campus Director at the Kenya University, Multimedia University. Yeah. Apologies for that. Media Universities. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being with us today. And to my immediate right, we have Desmond Smith Mboya, who is a campus director at Tombeni Campus Gani Nisichome Tena. Good morning and welcome.
Morning to you. It's Kenyatta University.
There we go. I wasn't fast. Sijachoma sana. All right, welcome. Thank you for being with us today. So we are talking about the Hult Prize. And for some, they're like, what is that? What is this Hult Prize you were talking about? Let me start with you, Desmond. The Hult Prize, your bit of background on it, condense it due to the interest of time.
Okay, so the Hult Prize has been labeled as the Nobel Peace Prize for students. And basically it's an innovation competition, global one, bring students all over the world, giving them a chance to participate from the first level,
yes,
which is their own campus, and exposing them all the way to the finals, which happens at the UN headquarters, and the best team gets a grant of $1 million to inject into their business. So it's about identifying, accelerating, and just trying to push the abilities among the youth.
What was your first interaction with this Hult Prize when you first heard of it?
So my first interaction was back in 2017 as a participant, back when I didn't think that, I'd ever interact with Hult Prize again. So we participated, didn't manage to reach to the regionals. Then fast forward back in 2021, I'm called by the former campus director, have a conversation, tell me, oh, you've heard about Hult Prize? I say, sure. So there's this role called the campus director. I would like you to apply. So normally you apply, several of you go through an interview.
Yes.
So me being me did the interview, knowing very well that I'd not get this. But we are here now.
Here we are.
Here we are.
All right, let me come to you, Hannah. Given you are the campus's vice director, what was your first interaction with the Hult Prize competition?
Yeah, so to answer that question, first I got the interaction back in 2020. When the campus director back then, she's called Patricia Mativo, she just gave me a call and told me, I want you to become part of my organizing committee. So I was part of the organizing committee back then as the documentation coordinator. Yeah.
And how has it been, looking at the reception, even in your institution, being part of the competition, how has the reception been among the students in MMU?
Yeah, it has been an interesting reception. The students at Multimedia, they're very innovative. They accept the idea about Hult Prize and they incorporate it and
they appreciate it.
Yeah, they appreciate it so much.
What about KU? Looking at the first time it was introduced in the institution.
I mean, it has morphed over time. I think when I was a participant, that was actually the first time it was introduced. Fast forward, there's a lot of interest. I think in the first intake, there was around 20 teams. Currently, we are having over 150 teams getting interested, over 1,000 students participating in different activities. Even the committee members, it's a bit stretched right now because we are working with around 15 committee members because there's a lot to handle. And I'm just loving the evolution of itself from the beginning till now. It's mind-blowing thinking about it. Yeah.
I can imagine. Now, given you are the campus director, are you also part of the student leader committee, or these are two separate entities?
We are different entities. Of course, we meet once in a while.
It's not a requirement.
It's not a requirement. We meet once in a while and have discussions so now we can cooperate. But at the end of the day, Hult Prize being an independent body, they are looking for people who share the vision and also individuals who can push it to the next level. Yeah, so that's why they actually take it very formally, do the interviews and try as much as possible to find the candidate who can be able to create that impact not only to the students but to the community.
So that brings a lot of working relationship with the school administration as well.
Yes.
And what about the situation in MMU, looking at the school's administration in partnership with the Hult team?
Yeah, so at Multimedia, so we have the Multimedia Innovation Center where we've partnered up with them as Hult Prize, because Hult Prize enables students to come up with ideas. So we have to work together with the innovation team at Multimedia.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, let me come to this year's competition, 2021-2022. It did start towards the end of last year. Let me start with you, Hannah. Tell us a bit about the team that you already have in place to just see through this competition this year.
Yeah, so we did have a launch at Multimedia, an activation launch last Friday. So it was a launch to sensitize the students to get to know about Hult Prize. Every year you get to incorporate new students, first-year students, and other students who might not have heard about Hult Prize before. So we had to do a sensitization so that the students can be able to know what Hult Prize is all about. Yeah.
What about the team at KU, bringing together the team? Did you also need to do the sensitization in your school to just make sure that you're also giving everyone an equal opportunity to be part of the team?
I think the very first essential thing is identifying a team that is visionary as you and can work with you. And that's the most critical part, because it's the make or break deal at the end of the day. Yeah? So, of course, I had to identify the team that I'm working with and try to bring them together and see if they share the same dream as we do. Then, of course, involve the administration through our mentor, who's the director of Chandaria Innovation Center.
Okay.
And then from there, we set out the timeline of activities which we wanted to achieve. And so far, I can say it's been an emotional roller coaster, but we are surviving. We are not complaining. Yeah. There have been joyful moments, sad moments, and of course learning moments along the way.
All right.
We've interacted with the students during some activations, and of course also planned various activities. Not only to help them in terms of the competition, but also other things.
All right. Yeah. What are some of the challenges that you've encountered as part of the team that is putting together the larger team to make sure that the competition that you're setting up this year is stepping up? As part of it so far?
Yeah, so the hardest part is to assemble teams actually. Yeah, to be able to approach the students and tell them that this Hult Prize, it's a competition, a global competition, and we want you guys to form a team of 3 or 4 people to be able to participate in the competitions. So during, because of the timing, you find that maybe the student is not really that confident and is like, oh, can you really have that idea? So yeah, getting to and make the students to voluntarily join and participate in the competitions has been a challenge. And then there's also been a challenge of looking for sponsorship. Yeah, you have to look for sponsors and partner up with organizations to be able to fund us, because we need to launch the on-campus program at campus.
All right. What about at KU? Are you also struggling with the same challenge of guys just showing up?
I think one of the big challenges we've faced so far is debunking the theory that innovation is technical. Because the history is that so many students who actually participate in these competitions come from the school of engineering, medicine, nursing, So anytime you're having a conversation with guys about innovation, people are like, what for engineering, And we are just trying to break that down and tell them that, it's not a matter of being in the school of engineering. You can actually identify anything in any field and actually do something. And we just give them the example of, currently we are having the CBC, which is coming in. That's an innovation because they realize there is a loophole in the 844.
Something's not working.
Something not technical. Yeah. It's just someone who identified, let's overhaul the system and see how it goes. So anyone in any field can be able to do that. Then apart from that, I guess it's also, it's not about getting sponsors, because for me it's about convincing them, getting to have the conversations and also finding the right channel. Finding the right channel, because each and every meeting we go to is a pitch, and we have to tell these guys why they should come on board and work with us.
All right. And maybe we could get to the idea that you are presenting this year as a school. Let me start with you, Hannah. What's the idea? What's the innovation? What's the big dream?
Yeah, so for this year's a call of action, actually, it's the theme of this year. Actually, with Hult Prize, every year there's always a theme which students have to work with to come up with the innovative ideas. So for this year's theme, Hult Prize theme is getting the world back to work by coming up with a business idea that will enable to create 2,000 jobs by the year 2024. Yeah.
And have you guys already identified the idea for your team?
Yeah, so...
Or you can't share it on TV?
Yeah, that's, you have to come and watch it on the on-campus program.
It is well. Let me come back to you, Desmond. What about your, what can you share in regards to the idea that your team has come up with?
So, the ideas varies in 2 levels. Of course, the organizing team and also the students. For the students, I have no clue whatsoever what they're organizing. I'm waiting to be astonished by the end of this all, But on our end as the organizing team, of course, our idea and our focus is creating a generational impact, That way, what we're trying to do is all these things that we're trying to put in place, we are trying to see if they can be able to be a long-term relationship, not only in terms of sponsorship with the administration, and also the other things that we'll just put on board, so that regardless of whether we'll be available in the next 10 to 20 years, people can still be able to enjoy in that line,
All right.
So we are looking at cooperating with various corporates in terms of giving the students training. Our major focus this year is we are trying as much as possible to see if we can be able to work together with all these corporates and organizers and also the institution to see if we can be able to do the first of its kind research center, not only in Kenya, but in Africa, where all the crazy people like me can just go in, try to look at the idea if it works or not. If it's not working, can it be improved? Then if it's not working totally, then at least you tried, and just create a culture of innovation.
All right.
So that's what you're trying to do on our end.
Now, looking at getting the world back to work, your responsibility as the campus director, how then do you step in to help the students with the different ideas that they will come up with? Because they're working in individual groups, I do believe. What is your role in just making sure that you are sort of redirecting them should they be, missing the mark in line with the theme?
So I love this year's theme because it's open-ended. I remember back in my high school in biology, we had the closed-ended and the open-ended essay. So in the closed-ended essay, basically what it meant, if you miss one step, they just cross your paper and put it aside. But for the open-ended essay, as long as you can do some rumors, which can be associated with something, it's good. So this year's theme is a bit open-ended, and it allows each and every idea, as long as it can be able to create the jobs and help recover back from COVID-19, it's possible. So on our end, what you're trying to do is focus their minds by training them on various things, ranging from pitching, writing their business proposals, getting professionals to train them in various areas, like for example, a couple of lawyers to just train them on contract law, patenting, among other things that are essential going forward for matters of their business.
All right. Now, let me also come to you, Hannah. Looking at your responsibility as the campus director in line with making sure, even if you're part of the competition, which are you?
Yeah, for me, I can take part in the competitions, but the campus director cannot.
Yeah. Awesome. Now, given you have the room to, be part of the teams and also be part of the guiding team, how then do you ensure that, you're also helping the other teams stay in line with the theme?
Yeah, so like back then in 2021, the theme was food for good. So it was limiting students to come up with innovative ideas based on food, maybe in the agricultural sector. So on my end, I can say that for this year's theme, it's a bit more open-ended, as he's said, as he's mentioned, because a student can come up with any idea regardless of whichever sector, so that it can bring it can create jobs by the year 2024. So the idea behind the theme for this year is because of COVID. When COVID hit, I know a lot of people lost their jobs. So that's what Hult Prize is trying to do, getting the world back to work.
All right. Now, I also understand there's a team of judges on the coordination team. How are these judges going to be selected? Let me start again with you, Hannah, in your school. Are they students as well, or they are an outside entity that is going to be outsourced to be part of the team that helps coordinate Hult competition in the school?
Yeah, so the students cannot take part as judges because it can be biased, or even taking a worker, maybe a lecturer or a professor at the university to partake as the judge, it might be a bit biased. So we're trying as much as possible to reach out to experts, especially business experts aligned with this year's theme, to be able to come on board and act as judges during the on-campus event.
Beautiful. Is that the same case at KU?
Of course. I mean, we want the crucifixion of Jesus to be the last one that ever happened. And we are trying as much as possible because at the end of the day, when we incorporate staff, it's actually good to incorporate the staff because they know the students. But of course, there might be a sense of biasness. So for what we are trying to look at on our end, we are having, of course, external judges, but in various fields so that we can be able to create neutrality. Someone in the field of engineering, someone in the field of media, someone in the field of law, someone in the field of even education, so that way we can be able to have a collective pool of brains that can be able to sit down and converse and say, I actually think this was a great idea and we should push for this, instead of just having a clique of individuals from the school who can be able to lie towards one idea. We want to avoid that.
And speaking about cliques in schools, do you also have a team that is documenting some of these ideas that the students will present? Because not all of them will proceed to the finals, but there could be some beautiful ideas that could be developed within the school. Do you have a team that is documenting them and incubating in one way or the other within the school, looking at the administration, how they can also come on board? So
that's one of the reasons why we actually, our main idea is, creating a generational impact, because at the end of the day, there can't be 100% efficiency. but the higher the efficiency that we get, the better. Yeah? So that means that we are trying to create avenues. So as we are trying to work on the research center, yeah, we are currently working hand in hand with the Chandaria Business and Incubation Center to see if they can be able to incubate some of these ideas. Chandaria has been in KU since around 2010. They've done wonders in terms of incubating ideas because they have, it's an incubation centers. They take in the ideas, help them move from the ideas all the way to the startups, and even have their own pool of investors who they can be able to link these students up with. Yeah. So the main idea is not only to have students participating in this competition, but have them incubated so that at the end of the day, we can actually not only work in line with the theme, but make these great ideas see the light of day.
All right. Looking at also MMU in line with all the ideas that students are going to present, because not all of them will manage to go to the finals, but there will be some great ideas that can be presented or will be presented for that matter, in terms of just ensuring actually have a lifeline post the Hult competition.
Yeah, so currently, because it's a competition like any other, of course there'll be a winning team, but we don't scrutinize whichever team and whichever idea they had. Like for instance, back then when I was still an organizing committee member, the teams that were not able to partake, we were trying to be able to push for the first 3 teams, because normally Hult Prize gives us a chance for the winning team to proceed to the regionals. So the other, like the first runners up and the second runners up, we're also trying to channel the idea to be able to reach to the regional level. Yeah.
All right. Now, earlier on, you had mentioned something to do with, the teams coming together and needing to look for sponsorship, among many other things. What are some of those other logistical factors that come into play for the teams that are essential to help this team actually move forward with the ideas that they have in line with the competition? Hannah.
Yeah. So for the teams, funding comes from, for now we're looking for sponsors to be able to organize the event, the on-campus event, because we'll need a couple of things like maybe banners, we need maybe t-shirts for branding, and that's the main focus. But also without the teams, without the students, we're all doing this in vain. So of course, for the students, we're also trying to partner up with organizations to be able to assist them with their ideas.
All right. What about in KU? Some of those logistical aspects that come into play in line with what the students need, in line with the competition?
So it being a competition, of course, the students have the idea in their mind, of course, there has to be a winning prize or something of that sort, on their on-campus level, So when get something, but the main idea is for them to be able to get something which is a bit tangible and will be impactful to them, and that means that bringing in more professionals, finding the right mentors to guide them in the right area that they'll be going to, and also just to polish the ideas moving on forward so that they may be able to see the light of day. So on our end also, like working on a zero budget, because I also think it's really a lovely approach, because it gives you the student social entrepreneurship case to crack on your own. Start from scratch. How can we be able to create a team, bring on board sponsors, convince them, because it's a learning curve also for you going on forward.
Yes.
And for us, of course, we have a budget of whatever we're trying to do, of course, ranging from the marketing to also organizing the events, awarding the students, among other things. So that's some of the main reasons that we're looking for sponsors, but it ranges into other things, of course, because when we are going outside to look for sponsors, we're not only looking for that in terms of cash, we're also looking for in-kind sponsorship. For example, if we find company X saying, we love what you guys are doing and we'll take 10 projects and fund them for their prototype, I think that's really amazing.
All right. So anything that is in line with the competition is welcome.
Anything.
Now this comes to now the in-campus project itself, the competition itself. It's over a span of about 6 months before you get to now move to the next step. Take us through how that 6 months will be looking like.
So for KU, of course, we started out with, of course, me being chosen. Then apart from that, getting on board your team that you work with, setting out your plans. So far we are still in the recruitment phase while we have the training. So we have trainings going on concurrently as we are onboarding the students, while also looking for sponsors and also just trying to put the word out there, like whatever we are trying to do today of what Hult Prize is. So for example, like next week, we'll be having a public lecture, a 3-in-1, the first of its kind. And we invited the president, but he'll not be able to attend. But in his place, he has assigned CS Peter Munya of Agriculture, who will deliver the public lecture. And also other guests who will be in the same, yeah? So the idea of that was to give students insights, because the approach was, can we get someone in government? Can we get someone in the private sector? Can we get someone in the NGO? And for them to talk about this thing, you know, how did COVID affect them? How are they coping right now? What's the plan for the future? And how can innovation come in through opportunities that they have spotted in the various organizations, yeah? So also to give that individual who's a bit clueless, what are some of the opportunities that I can look at, yeah? So we have that ongoing. Then of course, after that, the public lecture will now have our quarterfinals. And after the quarterfinals, we'll have the second batch of pitching trainings. Then after that, we'll have the semis. And we'll have a team selected for around 10 teams that now will move to the finals. And of course, we hope that after the finals, we'll still be able to do some of these trainings. We'll not stop.
All right. Yeah. What about in MMU? You know, yes, you will launch the on-campus program, then follows in the next steps. What are those next steps that the teams need to be aware of as they prepare for the competition, the grand finale?
So like you said, of course we have to mentor students. There have to be those information sessions that we bring in an expert from the Hult Prize team or from outside the school to be able to share their knowledge on business and whichever field. However, we will be able to support the students in preparation for the on-campus competitions. So normally during the competition, the students are supposed to come up with a PowerPoint presentation. Having a prototype is an added advantage because, of course, presenting your idea without a prototype, of course, it's a hassle.
The practicality of it,
Those teams which have a working prototype is an added advantage for them. So they come and present their ideas to the judges during the on-campus event. So from the on-campus event, the winning teams from various universities around the world proceed to the regional level. It's called the regional summit, whereby the winning teams are able to compete. The winning teams compete with other teams around the same region. They'll present their ideas, they'll pitch rather, to a panel of regional judges. So from there, they'll proceed to the Global Accelerator, which usually happens in UK, London. So it's actually an opportunity for a student who has never gone outside the country. You see, it brings those kinds of opportunities. You're able to travel, you're able to communicate and share knowledge with students from other universities across the world. So during the Global Accelerator, the students undergo extensive training and mentorships. Of course, they'll invite experts from around the world, business experts, potential investors. So even if the teams will not be able to proceed to the finals, they might encounter an investor who might be interested in investing in their idea. So winning the $1 million is not like the end goal, like it's a learning process.
Absolutely.
So it's not like if a team does not proceed to the finals, it's not the end. So in the finals, the last final 6 teams proceed to finals, which usually happens at the United Nations in New York, in the US. So from there, of course, the winning team out of the 6 teams will be able to win the $1 million to fund their startup idea.
Beautiful. Now, you had mentioned that the Hult competition was introduced in your school in 2020?
No.
That's when you first interacted with it. Now, looking at the few times you have seen that the teams do put up their ideas, work together, incubate them, what would you say is what are the things that you're going to be doing different this time around that you feel will set you apart and set you up for, better outcomes in this year's competition?
Yeah, so back then when I was the documentation coordinator, of course I was looking up to the campus director as my mentor.
Yes.
Yeah, so I used to see whatever she was doing. That's why right now I'm able to provide the ideas. So we were planning to, because back then we had like 10 teams, because the sensitization was not that extensive. So this time we are aiming, because multimedia, it's not a big campus as compared to Kenyatta University. It's still yeah, you get it. So we want to try to incorporate around 30 teams as at least as an improvement from the previous year.
All right. What about in KU, looking at 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 21, and 22 is now here. What are the few things that you know, especially as the campus director, you are going to be encouraging the teams to do differently to set them up for success?
I think I'm coming from a different point of view as compared to Hannah, because in my case, there was no prior experience. I was just thrown into the deep sea to find my own way.
Figure it out.
But of course with the help of mentorship from the former campus director. And I mean, I've told you it's been a good evolution till this moment. And we strive to do whatever we can that will benefit the students. And that means, if possible, to get the best of the best for them. Yeah. For example, last year, and at some point when I actually got this job as a campus director, I felt the pressure to leave, because when the former, you never know what you're getting into. You never know whatever you're getting into until you find out the information. So of course, you know, I was there being chosen as the campus director. Then the former campus director, we had a chat. And at that moment, the pressure came in, because he did wonderful things, yeah? Apart from bringing on board sponsors, he managed to work hand in hand with the World Food Program, and they signed a deal of 25 million Kenyan shillings, where all the teams in East Africa that were #1 were taken to Denmark to do their prototyping, yeah? And I think that's really amazing.
That's amazing.
Because you're not only working for yourself or your university, you are looking to create impact that covers others, yeah?
All right.
So I don't know whether we'll reach that point this year. Maybe, maybe not. But I'm hoping that whatever we'll do, we'll be able to create impact that will stretch out not only to KU, but other universities, and also trickle down to the community around. Yeah.
All right. Now, as we close this conversation, just your message to the team and all the other companies that will be participating in this year's Hult Prize competition.
Where is my camera?
Nihile director? Yes. No, there you go.
Okay, so to all the people listening to this, you know, being students, I think this is a really lovely opportunity for you to take part in this, because such opportunities come once in a lifetime, yeah? They expose you to different areas, and also just give you a chance to be the best version of yourself. And at the end of the day, it's not about only innovating. You can create networks along the line that will help and benefit you somewhere else.
All right.
To also, for those who are looking to work with us, they can reach out to us and work with us. And also, I'm hoping to see KBC during the project.
Chezeni kama nyinyi. We are the national broadcaster.
Yes, national broadcaster.
All right. Hannah, also to your school and the other students that are participating in this competition, as a school vice campus director, what would be your advice to them? There's your camera.
Oh, okay. So I can say I have a story. From last year's competitions, we actually had a team which won at the on-campus event. They were able to emerge to go to the regionals, which happened at Kuala Lumpur, but due to COVID, it happened, it was an online session. So they were the only Kenyan team that were able to proceed to the global accelerator.
Yes.
So that team is called Vardy Smart. Yeah, they came up with an innovative idea on a smart bin. So I want to challenge students out there. You don't have to be doing a STEM course. Yeah, as currently for me, I'm doing industrial chemistry, and it's not like it's just it's a forum for students like me who are doing such courses to partake in the competition. Even that a journalism student or a student partaking a social science course, yeah, you can come up with that idea. Don't diminish your idea. Don't feel like, no, the engineering student has a better opportunity because they do more technical and practical work. Because this year's theme, it's based on just that business idea that can create employment for people around the world.
All right.
Yeah, so don't, I want just to say that
don't second guess yourself.
Don't second yourself. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for that. This is a beautiful opportunity for everyone, especially the students, to just set yourself up, bring up that idea. You never know how far it can go if you just take the step to start. Yeah. We have been speaking with Hannah Nungari, who is the Vice Campus Director at the Multimedia University, as well as Desmond Smith Boyer, who is the Campus Director at KU. Thank you so much for being with us today. We wish you guys the absolute best.
Thank you so much
for having us.
Karibuni sana. We're not done with Good Morning Kenya. Much more coming up after this break. Do stay with us.
Theirs will never be paradise again. Ain't no romance without finance. Let's make this place as chaotic as possible.
Postpone rights zao watoto mpaka lini?
I'm not your in-law. I'm not cut out for domestic work.
And you still wonder why your marriage is in shambles.
Unatumiaga moyo kufikiria badala ya akili.
The Wadis and the Jemedaris will always be a family. And you, Christine, will remain to be an outsider.
I'm in charge with exciting items that are here, ready, lined up for you.
My name is David Paul. I'm in grade 5. I'm 11 years and I sing. I love singing.
He's not as qualified a wife as you think she is.
What did you say?
Pinky, you're so beautiful.
You've said that numerous times already.
I'm telling the truth, really.
Jack, Pinky bought this for you. I'm guessing you like it.
Jack, didn't you say you don't like fish?
What do you want, Jenny? You did this on purpose, right? You happy to put me in this awkward situation?
Jenny. Hi.
Jack?
Not once, but twice. Jimmy Havoc.
Oh, no.
No, drop toe hold into the chair.
Contra is everywhere. And when you least expect it, we just might bring the war to your front door. LA Port, the Contra unit is about to give you your own day of the dead. Hell, Contra!
back. We continue with Good Morning Kenya. Entertainment Thursday ndio inataka kuanza. Ni masaa ya muziki, musicians, asanii kwa studio. That is the conversation that we want to have this morning. My guests this morning are gospel artists and female gospel artists for that matter. I'll start with my extreme right. That is Eva Atuka. She is a gospel artist. Right next to her is Judy S. Hata yeye ni msanii wa gospel. So we just want to talk about the gospel music and specifically also females in this space. Karibuni sana to the program.
Asante.
Nitaanza na wewe Judy S. Nataka tu tueleze muziki wa gospel ulianza mwaka gani na imekuwa vipi kwako?
Muziki wa gospel ilianza mwaka wa 2020. Ndio mwaka ambao Mungu alinifungulia. Lilianza mwezi wa 6. Naam.
Kwa hivyo watu tuseme wale wasanii wenye time ya corona ndio idea inakuja.
Hiyo ndio mwaka yenye Mungu alinifungulia milango. Naam.
Kwa hivyo ulikuwa umepanga utafanya muziki before ama 2020 ndio ulifeel actually wacha sasa nianze kufanya muziki?
Ni tamaa ya moyo wangu tangia hapo awali. Nilikuwa ninaimbanga kwaya kanisani na pia praise and worship, lakini ndani ya moyo wangu nilikuwa natamaningi sana siku moja hata mimi nitoe nyimbo zangu nifikie dunia. Sasa mwaka huo ndio Mungu alinifungulia milango. Naam.
Okay. Eva,
yes.
Na wewe story yako iko vipi? Muziki ulianza lini? Imekuwa vipi kwako?
Nilianza nikiwa mdogo. Wakati nilianza kuimba nikiwa mdogo, nikaendelea hivyo hivyo na nikamjua Mungu, nikaingia ndani ya gospel, nikaanza kuimba uimbaji.
Ilikuwa mwaka gani? Because ukiwa kila mtu, most artists wanasema ngani nilianza nikiwa mdogo, nilianza nikiwa Sunday school au kama Judy S nilianza kwa choir. Kwa hivyo professionally which year?
Nilikuwa kama 14 years. Nikijua
hapo nilianza kuimba professionally.
Nilianza tu kusikia mawimbo zinakuja, lakini sikuwa naelewa nini kwa nini. Na sikuwa naelewa kwa nini hizi wimbo zinakaa. Wakati ule nilikundua kuwa mimi ni muimbaji naweza imba, na wakati ule niliingia katika wokovu wa Yesu Kristo, alafu nikamaliza nikaingia kwa praise and worship.
So which year was this specifically, na imekuwa vipi kwako all through kutoka vile ambapo ulianza yo kurecord music mpaka unatoa video audios hizo zote?
Nilianza kurekodi 2016. Yes.
Up until now. Muziki imekuwa vipi kwanza kwa kama msanii female gospel artist?
Ni milima na mabonde, lakini tunashukuru Yesu.
Hiyo milima na mabonde utatueleza tukikuja hapo. Back to you Judy S. I mean kutoka 2020, 21, 2022 imekuwa 3 years, we can actually say around 2.5 thereabout. Hapa tu kwa his space. How has it been like for you? Kwanza in terms of challenges, mara mingi wanasema most especially kwa female gospel artists hawakwangi consistent. Like unaanza kuimba muziki kama ni 2020 ama 2016 ama whatever year, inafika some point una stop kidogo, then again una pick up, you continue. Nini haswa inafanya especially wasanii wale females not to be as consistent compared to wale wengine, the male gospel artists or male artists?
Kitu yenye inaweza fanya ni unajua dadangu, lazima ujue msimamo wako. Ukisha kuwa na msimamo wako, hakuna kitu yenye inaweza kukutingisha. Wewe ukikuwa na malengo ya kusema kwamba ninataka hii kitu, hakuna kitu inaweza kukuzuia ukose kupata hiyo kitu. Sasa ukikuwa na hii lengo ya kwamba wewe unajua hii ni wito ambao Mungu amekupea, ni kazi ambayo Mungu amekupea uifanye, ndani ya roho yako unaichukulia ni kama umepewa kazi. Hii kazi inafaa uifanye kwa bidii sana na bidii sana bila kuogopa na nguvu zako zote. Ni hivyo tu.
Eva, ulikuwa una agree kabisa like unafaa kuwa na lengo, unafaa kuwa. Mtazamo wako ni upi?
Wakati unapotoa mawimbo ni mwito yenye Mungu amekupatia. Lazima hata kama kuna mangumo vipi, lazima utimie ndoto zako.
So ni nini haswa kutokana tu na that aspect ya kukuwa lengo, maybe vision, nini haswa inaweza kufanya ukwe consistent kabisa? Because kila msanii akianza na kuanga na vision, hiyo malengo iko, but still unapata kama especially for females, atakuja atatoa wimbo like 2020, tutakaa tena kidogo, tutamgoja akuja atoe 2022 tena akae kidogo. Si wengi ambao wako very consistent. Na unapata sana watu wengi wanasema female artists they are not as consistent compared to male. Yes, kuna lengo, kuna vision and all that, but nini ingine itakufanya usimame kabisa, tuseme this is what I want to do na nitafanya hivi. Kama for example for you, since 2016 you've been doing it.
Vitu kama hizo unaposikia uko na kibachi ndani mwako, ujimbii wewe, unamwimbia Mungu. Kwanza kitu nyingine, unafaa uhimbe yule mtu mwenye ako mahali, hata kama yako mgonjwa, ako na hali mbaya mahali nini, inaweza tuma ile wimbo ati kamponya. Kwa sababu maana ujimbii, ama uimbi kwa sababu ya pesa, unaimba kwa sababu ya mioyo ya mwanadamu.
Uimbi kwa sababu ya pesa, unaimba kwa sababu ya mioyo ya wanadamu.
Unamwimbia Mungu.
Unamwimbia Mungu. Ni kipaji ambaye amekupatia. Ulikuwa umesema pale awali kwamba kuna mabonde ulipitia, the challenges that umepitia when you're doing music kama msanii wa gospel. Nataka tu tueleze, what are some of these challenges? Zimekuwa shida gani zimepitia, and even at that ukasema for me I'll still stand strong.
Amen. Ilikuwa 2016 nilirekodi one album ya Damu ya Yesu. After kurekodi Damu ya Yesu, kula saa pesa mwimbaji anaweza kosa kwenda studio, lakini kuna mtu anaweza simama na wewe akasema kuwa hii ndio hii, nenda kwa studio ukarekodi wimbo. Na tena kitu nyingine, ningeendelea kutoka 2016, ndio maana niko na cup ya 5 years kama sijaimba tena wimbo. Ndio nimeimba last year tena, kwa sababu singeweza kuimba kwa sababu nilikuwa pia mgonjwa, singeweza kufanya hiyo huduma kwa hiyo siku. Ndio maana nimefikia hii last year, ndio maana nimetoa tena album nyingine ya Wewe ni Mungu.
Kwa hivyo issues to do na finances inakuanga very big issues for artists. What about you, Judy? Story yako imekuwa vipi in terms of the challenges zenye umekuwa ukipitia as a recording gospel artist?
Changamoto ambazo nimeweza kupitia wakati lilianza, watu wengi waliona ni kama ninacheza, na hata pia marafiki zangu walikuwa wananiambia nisi waste time yangu, nisipoteze time yangu. Lakini mimi nilikuwa najua ambacho iko ndani ya moyo wangu, hiyo passion yenye Mungu aliweka ndani yangu ni ya kwamba nimtumikie. Na unajua Mungu akikupatia kitu huwezi ificha uweke chini. Unafaa, kama ni taa unapewa na Mungu, hii taa inafaa uweke juu ionekane iangaze. Sasa kuimba hii ni kama mahubiri. Hii neno ambayo ninapata kutoka kwa Mungu ndio ninapatia watu kupitia kwa nyimbo zangu.
So support system yako imekuwa ni kina nani? Juu umesema kuna wale walisema hii ni kama ni mchezo, hawajui kumbe ni kipaji Mungu amekupatia ama ni passion uko nayo. Support system yako ilikuwa kina nani?
Kwanza kabisa support wangu mkubwa ni mtoto wangu. Yeye alikuwa ananiambia, "Mom, endelea mama. Mama, utafika mbali." Unajua vile wewe unaniguza, mimi huwa naimbaga pia na mtoto wangu ananisikia. Sasa vile alikuwa ananisikia anabarikiwa, pia naye ananiambia, "Mama, unajua unaweza imbia mtu," na akasikia vile mimi nasikia, na akasikia vizuri, na hata pia akamrudia Mungu. Pia chachi yangu wamekuwa supportive sana kwangu. Ninashukuru sana, na pia community ambao ninatoa ndani wamekuwa wakisimama na mimi hata nikilemewa kifedha, au wanasimama na mimi na ninaenda kutoa nyimbo zangu.
Kwa hivyo pia wewe issues of finances to some extent imekuwa some challenge for you. Okay, wimbo wako your latest, Mimi na Yesu. Tueleze kuhusu wimbo.
Okay, wimbo hii ambayo inaitwa Mimi na Yesu, unajua ukiokoka unakubali Yesu kuwa mwokozi wa maisha yako. Sasa ni wewe na Yesu, it is me and Jesus throughout hii safari hii ya wokovu, safari ya uimbaji, siwezi bila Yesu. Ndio kwa maana nikaimba hii wimbo ambao unasema mimi na Yesu. Nikiwa na Yesu nina kila kitu, nikiwa na Yesu nimebarikiwa, nikiwa na Yesu nimeinuliwa, ninapata kila kitu nikiwa na Yesu.
What about you, Eva? Support system yako imekuwa kina nani pase? Ni familia, ni marafiki, ni kanisa?
Imekuwa marafiki. Sasa zile naambia mtu mimi ni mwimbaji lakini sina hela, mtu simama na mimi. Watu wengi wamekuwa kisimama na mimi hata kila kitu. Ninashukuru kwa hao, kwa sababu kabla mwanadamu akusaidia ama kila kitu yaonekane kwa mtu mwingine, ni Mungu aliye ndani mwake. Mungu utamuona kwa sura, utamuona kupitia watu wengine. Kwa maana Mungu alipokupatia hiki kipawa anajua kwa nini atakuletea watu atakayesimama na wewe.
Na wimbo wako Wewe ni Mungu, also that is your latest song. Tuambie kuhusu wimbo.
Wewe ni Mungu. Wakati nilikuwa nimelala, Mungu akanieleza kuwa atanipatia wewe ni Mungu. Wakati nilikuwa nimefunjwa moyo, nikaambiwa nimeshauza damu ya Yesu. Wakaniambia huyu alishaacha kuimba, hata alishauza damu ya Yesu. Naye Mungu akasema usijali, mimi ni Mungu, ndakupatia tena wimbo nyingine utaimba.
Wakati ambapo unatunga nyimbo zako, nini haswa inakuwa your inspiration ama motivation wakati unatunga nyimbo zako?
Sorry?
Nini na kuinspire as you write your songs? Ni nini wewe unaangalia? Ni matukio ambayo umepitia kwa maisha? Ni word from God? Unajua wasanii wengi wanasema for me maybe it's the Holy Spirit. Mwingine mimi ni vitu nimepitia, mwingine mimi nataka tu kuimbia watu konja wa feel motivated. So for you wakati unatunga nyimbo zako, nini haswa huwa inakuinspire kama artist?
Wakati wimbo inakuja chinzi venye Mungu ameileta. Sometimes anaweza ileta kwa sababu yale mapito unapitia. Sometimes inaweza kuja kwa sababu ya uponyaji. Sometimes inaweza kuja saa zile uimbe kwa sababu ya nchi ya Kenya ipone. Sometimes mambo mingi sana.
So for you ni nini exactly? Kwa hizo zenye umesema, what exactly?
What exactly? Ni kumaanisha kuwa ni kumwimbia Mungu kwa roho na haki.
Yani wakati ambapo unatunga nyimbo zako, unatunga kwa sababu Holy Spirit ameileta kwako, ama unatunga unataka kutuinspire sisi ambao tunasikiza, ama unatunga sababu vitu umepitia kwa maisha? Nini exactly?
Ni roho wa Mungu anayoleta.
So for you just rely on the power of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
And you, Judy, as you compose your songs, nini aswa huwa inakumotivate or inspires you?
Yenye inanichochea sana, unajua pia ni vile ninapitia kimaisha. Sasa kuna vitu yenye huwa ninapitia ambayo ninaona Mungu huwa ananisaidia, ninaandika, na ninaona pia kuna mtu mwingine mahali fulani anaweza kuwa anapitia hali hiyo ambayo ninapitia, na kwa hiyo njia pia inaweza kumjenga moyo, inaweza kumuinua, na kwamba asikose matumaini mbele za Mungu.
Okay, so ni nini exactly umekuwa ukipitia kwa maisha zenye imefanya ukatunga wimbo ambazo wimbo wote yenye umetunga is as a result of maybe challenge umepitia or the things that you've gone through in life? Ni wimbo gani haswa? Niko
na wimbo mbili. Ya kwanza hii ni ya Kiluya ambayo lilipata 2015. Nilikuwa nimepitia wakati mgumu sana mwaka huo. Nilikuwa mwaka mgumu sana, nilipitia shida mingi, vita huku na huku, matatizo tu ya kimaisha. Na katika hiyo hali nilikuwa ninaona, yani ni hali nyingine nilikuwa naona sitaitoka ndani. Na kwa hiyo hali nikapata hii wimbo, ni nani kama wewe, Mungu muweza wa yote. Sasa nikisoma Biblia inasema kwamba ati haja zetu zijulikane mbele za Mungu. Furahini katika Bwana siku zote, na haja zetu zijulikane mbele ya Mungu. Yeye mweza yote atashughulikia. Tena Biblia inasema ya kwamba ikiwa Mungu anaweza kupatia ndege wangani wakule wakunywe na hawapalili, hawalimi, anawashughulikia, je mimi? Biblia inauliza, je wewe mwanadamu, Baba mbinguni atakushughulikia aje? So hizi shida ambazo nilikuwa nazo nikapatia Mungu, na nikasema Mungu, nitakuimbia wewe, nitakutukuza kwa hii hali ngumu ambayo napitia, nitakutukuza wewe. Wewe muweza wa yote utanishughulikia.
Since you're all about inspiration, nataka tu tueleze, hata ndio maybe viewers wale ambao wana watch waelewe kwamba wakati ambapo unaandika wimbo zako kuna story behind hizi challenges. Can you tell us kama hata ni moja that you actually went through that made you feel enyewe kama si Mungu kwa kweli singekuwa hapa?
Challenges ambayo nimepitia, ya kwanza ni kiafya. Nilikuwa kuna ugonjwa ambao ulikuwa unanisumbua sana, ambao nilitafuta kutibiwa lakini sikuipata, ilichukua muda sana. Na wakati nilisema tu I surrender to you Jesus, hiyo siku ndio yenye nilipona. Challenge nyingine ya kimaisha nilikuwa na mtu ambaye ninapenda sana, rafiki, nilikuwa nimemweka ndani ya roho yangu sana, na huyu rafiki akakuja kunibetray. Na kutokea hapo ndo nikaanza kujua usihai weka trust yako kwa mwanadamu. Hata Biblia inasema don't put your trust kwa mwanadamu, weka trust yako yote kwa Mungu. Unajua mara mingi huwa tunasahau, tunaona rafiki unaweza kumpatia kile kitu, yani unaweka Mungu kando, badala uambie Mungu shida zako, unaanza kuambia mtu na unamwamini kwa kila jambo ya kwamba yeye atakusaidia, na unaweka Mungu kando. Na Biblia nayo imesema alaaniwe yule mtu ambaye anategemea mwanadamu na kumsahau Bwana Mungu wake. Sasa ninaona katika hii challenge Mungu alikuwa ananifundisha kwamba nisiweke tumaini langu kwa mwanadamu, niweke tumaini langu lote kwa Mungu. Naam.
Okay, well said. Eva, I mean, umesema kwamba kitu ambacho kina kuinspire wakati ambapo unatunga nyimbo zako ni Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Na utapata kuna wasanii, sema tu wasanii kadhaa ama good number of them, especially kwa the gospel space. Mara nyingi huwa hawangojei ama hawategemei sana hiyo Holy Spirit kwa wimbo zao ambapo wanatunga. Ndio maana utapata watu wengine watasema kwamba hii wimbo haina ule mguso wa Bwana, kitu kama hiyo. Unasema nini kuhusiana na hiyo?
Ningesema kuwa lazima ukuwe na Holy Spirit na ukuwe na Mungu ndani mwako na uombe na Mungu akuelekeze. Bila hiyo hauwezi imba na huwezi tunga wimbo Mungu akakupatia. Lazima unyenyekee machoni pa Mungu, sio kwa pesa wala ni kwa neno la Mungu.
Na kuna hapo wali pia ulikuwa umesema kwamba wakati ambapo unaimba si kwa pesa vile unasema, ni kwamba unaeneza injili ya Bwana.
Amina.
Na kuna wale ambao wanasema kwa kweli tusidanganyane. Siwezi pia kwa ninaimba na sipati hiyo fedha. Mtajisustain vipi? Na kuna wale ambao kumbe wanaimba kwa kweli na nataka tu nipate hii pesa. Siimbi kwa sababu ya huduma ya Bwana. Nataka nisikie unasema nini kuhusiana na hii mambo mawili?
Mambo mawili, unapokuwa unamwimbia Mungu, hakuna siku Mungu atakuacha. Ukikimbia mbio utafunjika Mungu. Kwa sababu unapokuwa ndani ya Yesu, hata zile fedha na dhamana zote ni kwake tu Baba. Hata utawahi lala njaa kwa sababu upati pesa katika gospel. Na hakuna siku yenye Mungu atawacha mtoto wake akosa kufaidika kutoka kwake. Ukimwamini yeye ni kila kitu.
Ukiangalia direction ya gospel music, na kwanza tukiongea kuhusiana na hilo jambo la kuimba just because you want to sing, you know, uko na feel niko na talent, ama you just want to sing because I want to make money. Gospel has money. Do you feel kama gospel iko ina head towards the right direction ama kidogo inapoteza mwelekeo wake?
Lazima itapoteza mwelekeo kwa sababu usipomwamini, kitu ya kwanza nimesema lazima umwamini Holy Spirit, ni umwamini Yesu, ni umwamini Mungu aliyekuumba. Kutokana na hiyo, hata hizo wimbo Mungu atakupatia yeye mwenyewe, ile inagusa mtu ndani ya moyo wake. Anaweza kuwa mtu ako ndani ya hospitali isiyo, anaposikia hiyo wimbo yako tu anapona. Mwingine amepitia changamoto, hata alikuwa hata ana rent, lakini anaposikia hiyo wimbo Mungu anampatia imani ya kujua kuwa Mungu anaenda kumbariki.
Judy, ukiangalia the challenges kwa gospel music, kama vile ambavyo unasema tu kuna hiyo aspect here, sometimes I just want to sing because wimbo imekuja, niko na idea. Singoji mwelekezo wa Holy Spirit. Ama I just want to sing because nimesikia saizi kwa gospel ndio kuna pesa. When you look at some of these issues, especially zenye zina face the gospel scene ama the gospel space, unaona kama the gospel industry ina head towards the right direction ama kuna something kidogo ina miss yenye inafanya gospel space ina lose mwelekeo wake?
Kitu yenye naweza sema hapo, sio wote wasemao Bwana Bwana wako na Bwana. Kuna wengine wamekuja kujificha ndani. Yani ni watu wenye hawajaokoka lakini wanajifichia ndani ati ni Wakristo kwa sababu akiimba gospel anaweza pata pesa. Na ukiangalia katika Biblia, Yesu alikuwa na wanafunzi 12. Na kwa hawa 12 kulikuwa na wawili, kulikuwa na Judas ule alimbetray na kulikuwa na Tomaso. Sasa katika section yoyote hawakosangi hao watu, hata kazini hawakosangi, hawakuangi perfect wote. Kuna Judas na kuna Tomaso. Sasa katika industry hawawezi kosa, lakini chenye najua ya kwamba mwimbaji anafaa kujua wito wake na msimamo wake. Kama mimi sasa Judy, mimi malengo yangu ya uimbaji ni ya kwamba nifikirie mioyo mingi, niwaambie habari za huyu Yesu Kristo. Ndio kwa maana ninaimba gospel. Wale hawamjui Mungu wapate kumjua, wale ambao hawajaokoka waokoke, wale ambao wameshushika chini wakapate kuinuliwa. Na pia katika nyimbo zangu ningependa watu wafanye nini? Wamtukuze Mungu. Sasa ukijua malengo yako hauwezi jichanganya. Wewe usiangalie fulani ama nani anaimbanga aje. Wewe angalia ni wito wako. Unajua hiyo wito wako ukiitazamia kwa Mungu, naye Mungu atakuelekeza. Ni kujiweka tu kwa Mungu ya kwamba Mungu nitawale, use me the way you want. Ni hivyo tu.
Kwa hivyo sasa ukiangalia that aspect of mentorship, because again kuna wale ambao wanasema kitu ambacho kinakosekana haswa saizi kwa gospel ni mentorship. Maoni yako ni yepi? Na wewe ambapo wakati ulikuwa unaanza, did you have a mentor amekusaidia vipi kama ulikuwa naye?
Kitu ya maana sana ni foundation. Ukikuwa na foundation mzuri, hakuna vile unaweza jichanganya. Na ukikuwa na foundation mzuri, kwa mfano yani Mungu amenipea hiki kipawa. Kitu cha kwanza ni kujipatiana kabisa kwa Mungu. Mungu atakutumanishia the right person, ule mwenye atakumenta. Unajua Mungu huangalia ndani ya roho. Akiona ndani yako kuna kakitu, labda ndani yako unataka tu nataka pesa ama ninataka nijulikane, utapata tu ule mtu mwenye atakuelekeza kwa hiyo njia. Lakini kwa roho yako Mungu akiona kweli haja yako ni kumtumikia, atakutumia mtu ambaye mwenye atasimama na wewe akusaidie, akulee kiimani, akulee kikristo na kuelekeza katika njia za Mungu.
Okay. Eva, wewe ulianza muziki about 5 years, around 6 years ago. Ulikuwa na mtu ambaye anakushika mkono kwamba muziki inafanywa hivi, hii industry inakuanga hivi, someone to guide you like a mentor, to teach you vile ambavyo industry iko, just at least by the time unafika pale unaelewa kwamba nafaa nifanye hivi, hii nafaa nisifanye.
Yes, niliomba Mungu, nikamwambia Mungu akanipe mentor yule atakayo ni mentor vizuri kulingana na neno la Mungu. Na ya Mungu akanipa, na akanielekeza, hapo unafaa uende hivi, na hapo unafaa uende studio, hapo unafaa uende kila mahali Mungu anataka uende. Naye akaniambia kuwa maombi ni ya maana sana kuliko kila kitu. Unapoimba lazima kuwe muombezi. Lazima tena umkampende Mungu ndani ya moyo wako.
Huyu ni nani ambaye alikushika mkono kutoka hiyo miaka yote ulianza muziki?
Anaitwa Jose wa Mapendo. Ameimba Usinipite.
Ndo amekuwa mentor wako.
Amekuwa mentor wangu.
Kwa hivyo ukiangalia wale ambao wasanii waseme chipukizi, ambao wasanii wanachipuka, upcoming artists maybe kwa gospel, kwa mtazamo wako, do you feel like in the one of those things lacking kwa gospel space, the lack of mentorship? Yani hawa wasanii hawana watu wa kuwaelekeza, kuwafunza, kuwa guide on what to do, how to do things.
Lazima ukawe na mentor. Ni lazima tena uwezi jimanage pekee. Lazima ukuwe na watu wale watakayesimama na wewe. Hata ule mentor bado atakuelekeza. Hata bado ndani ya kanisa lenu, bado mchungaji wenu bado atakumenda, bado ni baba.
Okay. Tuambie kuhusu wimbo wako Damu ya Yesu.
Damu ya Yesu, nilipoimba Damu ya Yesu, nilikuwa kwa kitanda kama siwezi. Naye Mungu akapitia ndani ya wimbo, naye nikapokea uponyaji.
Nataka utueleze ni nini haswa ilikuwa inafanyika at that point, that uko kwa kitanda, you cannot do anything, huwezi fanya chochote. Ni nini ulikuwa unapitia? Ni ugonjwa? Ni changamoto ya maisha? Ni nini haswa?
Nilikuwa mgonjwa, sikuelewa ni ugonjwa gani. Lakini Mungu pekee ndiye alijua ni ugonjwa gani. Nilitani kuwa black na nikafura, tumbo yangu ikawa kubwa. Hata ninapotembea sikutaka watu waniangalie uso. Lakini kila siku naimba damu ya Yesu, damu ya Yesu, damu ya Yesu. Wakati niliketi nikiendelea hivyo, nikiwa mgonjwa, nikienda hospitali waone ugonjwa, ni pastor mmoja mama anaitwa Pastor Ruth akaniambia nijifiche ndani ya Mungu. Akaniambia nenda ujitenge mahali ukaombe. Alafu mahali nilienda nikaomba, naye Mungu kupitia ile maombi Mungu akaniponya.
Kwa hivyo pia changamoto za maisha ni part of what inspires vile ambavyo you create your content na muziki wako. Alright, so we want to take a very quick break. When we return, I come back with these two ladies. They continue talking to us about their music, their inspiration, collaborations, and what's next for their upcoming projects. Time for that break. We return. Stay with us.
are here, ready, lined up for you.
My name is David Paul. I'm in grade 5. I'm 11 years and I sing. I love singing.
Log on to the KBC website at www.kbc.co.ke to get the latest breaking news, entertainment, sports, politics, lifestyle or business trends from Kenya and around the world. Never miss new episodes from your favorite TV shows, reruns and movies. Just stream online or watch live on your YouTube channel at KBC Channel 1 TV shows. For the day's biggest stories, trustworthy news and family entertainment, log on to KBC Channel 1. Watch what you want anytime, anywhere.
Pincushion not once but twice. Jimmy Havoc. Oh no. No, drop toe hold into the chair with the
Contra is everywhere. And when you least expect it, we just might bring the war to your front door. LA Port, the Contra unit is about to give you your own Day of the Dead. Hell, Contra!
Me, I knew when I was getting married, it was automatic that I'll get my baby. So I did not do any family planning, and baby was not coming. So my in-laws thought, because I'm an orphan, they thought that I was doing that so that we can get money for dowry. So they actually told me on the face that I knew I could not conceive, but I ended up being married by their son.
Daktari akaniambia sababu hii tubes zako zimeblock, kuna venye tunaweza unblock, na nikafanya surgery ya kwanza. Nikapata mimba ikatokana miezi 2. So hata usiku saa zingine naamka naguza niangalie kama bado iko.
Na madaktari wanasema kila kitu iko, mtoto wako sawa?
Twins.
Oh, you are pregnant with twins?
Yes.
Oh wow, congratulations.
Back, we continue with our conversation on the gospel space and set. I still have my 2 lovely, amazing female gospel artists. Wanatuambia tu kuhusu story yao, vitu ambazo wamepitia, what inspires the music, and that is what we are talking about. Now, before we went on break, we're talking about basically, you know, the challenges that you faced, watu ambao wamekuwa kiwa mentor and your inspiration. Now I want us to talk about your style of music. Style yako ya muziki ni gani? Kuna wale ambao wanaimba rumba, kuna wale ambao ni bongo, gospel, worship, praise. Yako ni gani, Eva?
Yangu ni worship.
Mbona worship?
Kwa sababu hiyo ndio Mungu alinipa, siwezi ka change. Maybe Mungu aniongezee tena more than hili nita change.
Okay, what about you, Judy? Style yako ya muziki ni gani?
Style yangu ya muziki ni rumba. Unajua kwa muziki wangu ni kama
wale wa kukatika.
Unajua mjua mpaka atingisha mwili.
Tingisha mabega kidogo.
Yasikie roho ameshuka.
So style yako ni rumba?
Sana sana ni rumba, kwa sababu ukiangalia kwa albamu yangu kuna tarab, kuna hiyo rumba, na pia kuna worship, na kuna hiyo ya Kiluya praise.
Nyote mko na album. Na unapata again, when you come to music, not just gospel by the only, but hata pale kwa secular, inakuanga, is it difficult ama tu ni by choice? Wasanii wengi wana prefer kutoa single before hata mtu atoe album. Na mtu anaweza kata kama miaka 10 ndio tuone album yake ya kwanza. But you umekuwa kwa the gospel space since 2020, that's like 2.5, almost 3 years. Wewe since 2016, around 5 years thereabout. Na nyote mko na album already. Nini haswa, na nitaanza na wewe Judy, ikafanya uone saki tu kutoa single but nataka pia ni kuwe na album, which is what also you have?
Unajua kila mtu ako na neema yake. Vile Mungu anakubariki wewe si vile ananibariki mimi. Sasa inategemea, kila mtu ako na neema yake. Mimi vile Mungu alinifungulia hivyo, yani wacha tu niseme kama tu muujiza, na nikapata hiyo chance, na nilikuwa tayari niko na hizo nyimbo ambayo nilikuwa tu ni ndoto yangu, na vile nilifunguliwa na nikapata hiyo chance na hiyo upenyo, nikaamua tu wacha nitoe.
Na wewe Eva, is for you pia ni hiyo upenyo, ulikuwa na nyimbo before? Because the way tunasema ni very rare kuona wasanii wako na album. Ni mmoja wawili utapata amekaa kwanza kwa industry for over 10 years ndio sasa anatoa album ya kwanza. Wewe 5 years already uko na album?
Yes. Ni kwa neema ya God, like my sister venye amesema, ni venye Mungu pia anakuelekeza. Unaweza sema uimbe hiyo moja, ushuti hiyo moja, ni venye Mungu atakueleza ndani ya moyo wako. Unafili haje? Unajisikia kutoa yote album ama unasikia kutoa moja moja? Ni venye Mungu hako na kila mtu na mambo yake.
Kila mtu na vile ambavyo
venye wanapenda.
Okay. Tuongee kuhusu collaborations. Kuna mtu ambaye, kuna msanii ambaye umekolabo na yeye, na kama yuko ni mgani?
Sijafanya collab yoyote, lakini Mungu akinipa mtu yule mwenye tunaweza andamana naye kwa safari moja ya Yesu, nitashukuru tu, nitasema asante.
Ni msanii mgani ambaye wewe unaangalia anaweza kwa hapa Kenya ama hata beyond Kenya, wewe unaangalia unasema Mungu akaniwezesha, naweza taka kufanya kolabo na huyu msanii? Na kwa nini?
Solomon Mkubwa.
Kwa nini?
Kwa sababu nikiangalia uimbaji wake, ameimba ndani ya moyo wake, na napenda chinzi anaimba, alafu neema yake pamoja, ninapenda chinzi anabudu.
Na wewe Judy, najua umefanya kolabo. Tuambie kuhusu hiyo. Nini aswa ulikuwa unaangalia wakati ambapo ulikuwa unasema sasa ni wakati nitaka kufanya kolabo na msanii fulani, na kwa wasanii ambao wote nimeona na namchagua huyu?
Nashukuru Mungu sana, nimeweza kufanya kolabo na Generous Haimba, anaitwa Pastor Generous Haimba. Ni mwimbaji wa nyimbo za Injili na tena ni pastor. Na Mungu alimleta kwangu na akawa rafiki na tena mama. Ninampenda sana. Na hata kabla nimjue nilikuwa napenda kusikia nyimbo zake. Nyimbo zake zilikuwa zinanijenga, zinanileta karibu na Mungu. Sasa nilikuwa tu nasema siku moja Mungu tu akipenda nikikutana na huyu mama, Mungu tu aniunganishe na yeye. Na kwa hiyo njia vile Mungu alifanya, hata mimi mwenyewe nilistuka. Na Mungu akaniletea Pastor Generous, alikuja kwa launch ya my first album. So nilikuwa ninatafuta ni nani atakuja, na kuna ndugu yangu fulani ambaye tuko naye kwa group ya uimbaji, akanielekeza kwa Generous, tukaenda kwake. Na vile tulienda kwake, vile alinipokea, hiyo mapokezi yaliniguza moyo wangu sana. Unajua mtu akikuwa ameinuliwa kwa uimbaji wa gospel, wengine wako na ile kujiona, madharau, nataka pesa fulani ndio nikuje, lakini huyu mama akona ile unyenyekevu ndani yake. Yani unaona uungu ndani yake, ana tabia za uungu ndani yake. Hiyo kitu ilinijenga sana. Akakuja akasimama na mimi katika launching yangu ya kwanza, na kutokea hapo tukakuwa marafiki. Kimaisha unajua mimi sina wazazi, sina baba, sina mama. So yeye kukuja kwa maisha yangu amekuwa kama mama. Tena yeye ni pastor, ananielekeza, ananiombea, ananionya, ananifundisha na tena pia ni rafiki.
So pia amekuwa kama mentor wako.
Yes.
Okay. Aside from Jane Rose, ni msanii mgani ambaye ukiangalia pia anaweza kuwa either in Kenya ama beyond, unaangalia unasema mimi nikapata chance the way Eva anatuambia kwake ni Solomon Mkubwa, nikapata chance naweza penda kufanya collab na huyu msanii, na kwa nini?
Mtu mwingine mwenye naweza tamani kufanya naye collab ni Christina Shusho. Kutokea kitambo nikiwa mdogo nilikuwa ninapenda sana wimbo zake, pia zinanisongesha karibu na Mungu. Na nilikuwa nikiangalianga TV na nasikia hiyo wimbo vile inaniguza, natamani nasema Mungu, vile ninatamani niimbe kama huyu dada. Vile yeye ananiguza hivi, hata mimi unipe kibali nami nyimbo zangu ziguze watu. Unaona? Sasa hiyo kitu natamaningi sana kufanya na huyo mwanadada.
Okay. Kitu ambacho nimenotice na nyote wawili ni hakuna yule ambaye amesema nataka kufanya na maybe Guardian Angel ama msanii yote wa Kenya. Wote tu
tayari nimeshafanya na msanii mmoja wa Kenya ambayo ni Generous, Pastor Generous Haemba, huyo ambaye anamuita Maiwa Sichiriva.
Eva, mbona umeangalia tu kona ni Solomon Mkubwa? Ni nini hauoni kwa wasanii wa Kenya umeenda kutafuta kidogo pale nje?
Unajua huduma hii natakanga mtu amenyenyekea. Ninataka mtu
wasanii wa Kenya wajanyenyekea.
Ndio wanakuanga wamenyenyekea, lakini neema yako iko wapi? Ni nani anaimbanga? Unasikia kuwa unaweza pia kuimba. Alafu sijasema pia Solomon Mkubwa pekee, hata Florence Andenye pia mimi ningependa sana kufanya naye tena collab.
So wakati ambapo una mention hao wasanii, unajua kuna wale ambao wanasema roho Bwana akinielekeza, kuna wale ambao wanasema ni maybe mziki wangu na wake unaenda na pamoja, ndio maana naweza penda kufanya na msanii kama huyu collab. Wewe ukiangalia hawa wasanii ni nini haswa ambao unaangalia inakufanya useme mimi naweza penda kufanya na Solomon ama Florence? Ni roho wa Bwana, ni vile ambavyo wimbo zenyu zinaendana pamoja, ni nini haswa unaangalia?
Wacha nikwambie kitu kimoja. Mtu mwenye anaimba worship anafutianga worship mwenzake. Na mtu yule mwenye anaimba praise anafutianga pia praise mwenzake. Ni neema huwa zinapatana. Neema ikishapatana na unasikia kweli hapa inawezekana. Juu huwezi enda mali kule uwezi, lazima uende mahali kunawezekana. Na tena uingie kwa maombi, waambie Baba, kama ni wewe ndio unaweza sema niimbe na Solomon Mkubwa, ninashukuru. Kama wewe ni Baba, unaweza niruhusu nikaimba na Florence Andenye, ni sawa. Na Mungu naye akisema no, uwezi jipeleka kwa mikono yako. Lazima Mungu akupatia okay.
Well said. Na ningewapatia chance kila mtu aimbe, lakini tutapata hiyo wimbo zenyu zitachezwa pale kwa TV. Lakini tukimalizia this conversation, nataka tu nianze na wewe Judy. What next for you as a gospel artist? Ni nini umepanga fans wako wategee nini, wangoje nini?
Yenye nimepanga mwaka huu, kwanza ni mapenzi ya Mungu yatimilike. Unajua kama Mungu haja kuridhia huwezi pata kitu yenye unataka. Na tamanio langu ni kwamba nifikirie mioyo mingi. Unajua kuna wakati nilikuwa kwa shida ambayo nimesema mwanzoni, na ilikuwa depression. Na at that point nilikuwa nataka kujiua. Na kwa hiyo harakati ya kutaka kujiua, kuna wimbo iliimba ya Gloria Muriru, usikate tamaa. Na kupitia kwa hiyo wimbo ilinifanya nikafikiria mara mbili. Sasa mimi katika uimbaji wangu nataka niwe hivyo. Wimbo zangu ifikie tu mtu, iponye mtu mahali, iguze tu mtu mahali. Niko na nyimbo nyingi sana ambazo za kujenga na hata kuleta watu karibu mbele za Mungu.
Well said. Eva, what next for you?
Kama ningeendelea mbele, mimi ningependa Mungu anitumie kama chombo, kwa sababu sisi kajitumia mimi ni mwanadamu tu. Ninaomba Mungu akanipe maneno yale nitakayeweka ndani ya uimbaji wangu, hata yule aliyo mgonjwa ndani mahali akaamka, naye Mungu akanielekeza nisije kujielekeza.
Well said. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. Ile ambapo tumesema director play your songs as we continue the program. So I have been speaking to these two lovely ladies, that is Eva Atuka as well as Judy S. They have been talking to us about their gospel journey, gospel music, what ails the gospel industry, and perhaps even just their own mind on what they can do to change the gospel space. This is where we bring this part of the conversation to a close, but Good Morning Kenya is not yet done. We still have plenty more on the other side of this break. Stay with us.
Nimejua ni nguvu zako, umbali huu umenileta, Ebeneza ni kwa wema wako. Wema wako waning'arisha, wema wako wafanya napenda. Heshima yangu ni wema wa Bwana, baraka zangu ni wema wa Bwana, wokovu wangu ni wema wa Bwana, ni wema wa Bwana, ni wema wa Bwana, wema wa Bwana, wema wa Bwana, oh, ni wema wa Bwana, 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 oh, ni wema wa Bwana. Nashukuru kwa wema wako, fadhili zako ni za milele. Wewe jana, leo na kesho, kamwe hubadili. Kuishi kwangu ni wema wa Bwana, uzima wangu ni wema wa Bwana. Nashuhudia kwa wema wa Bwana, 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 oh, ni wema wa Bwana, 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 oh, ni wema wa Bwana, 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 ni wema wa B hakika wewe ni Mungu mkuu. Ndani yangu sina mwingine Baba ila ni wewe Yesu. Utukufu ni wako Dadi, wewe ni Mungu uliyeniumba Baba kwa mfano wako Yesu. Sioni mwingine wewe ila ni wewe tu. Akaniondolea aibu. Ulimtoa mwana wa kipekee aliye na ujasiri mwingi, akaniondolea magonjwa. Nasubiri malangoni pako Yawe, nangojea kutoka kwako Yesu, mwana wa Mungu. Hakuna kama wewe, wewe ni mwanzilishi Baba, wewe ni mwanzo tena mwisho, Alfa na Omega, wewe ni Mungu.
Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. I'm Mike Itai. Of course, you can join the conversation at KBC Channel 1 TV. That's on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And our next interview ni the OG himself. Kuna watu wamejibandika hiyo jina in hip hop in Kenya over the past few years, but this is the real OG. I'm talking about Kevo K-Force. Karibu sana.
Nashukuru, man.
Nice. The last time we had a conversation was in 2018. You remember?
It's been a while.
We were comparing the height difference. By the way, the guy is 6'4", 4. You used to play basketball.
Yeah.
Nice. We had a conversation in 2018 and we had discussed the state of hip hop at the time.
Yeah.
And there's something you said, there's a way Kenyans view it as a foreign genre. Do you still feel the same way?
Yeah, in a sense. Unacheki, you know, like at the end of the day, we're Africans, man. So most people kind of view hip hop as an imported culture. Unacheki. So yeah, it's still relatively, you know, it's changing kidogo. Guys are embracing the culture pole pole, especially the younger guys, nini. But at the end of the day, nakwambia tu, we're still in Africa, and most guys view it as an imported culture. Yeah.
When you were starting out, let's get a little background of Kevo K-Force, aka Kevin Ambalwa. Do many people call you by your government name, by the way?
Only guys I went to school with.
Only guys you went to school with?
Like, Ambalwa. Hata si Kevo. Hiyo surname sasa hiyo ndo Ambalwa. Yeah, man.
Nice.
Yeah, so most guys wanakonga wamekuwa mana hiyo, but you know, these rap monikers tunapewangwa. Most times we don't choose the monikers we use. So they're assigned by the streets and the fans sometimes, or friends or family.
Then who gave you K-Force?
So K-Force ilikuwa like my homies too. Time tulikuwa tumeanza ku, you know, I used to freestyle kwa mtaani when we were much younger, tukiwa ka high school hapo hivyo nini, so najua natoka Kibera, so most guys wakaanza kuniambia manze we ni the force, so ikachanga kukua the force, wakaanza kuniambia ni aje since unaitwa Kevo na pia unatoka Kibera na wewe ni Mkenya na all that yani, so sujite tu K-Force, and it kind of stuck with me yani. That's even before I came up with the group K-Force yani, before I decided to, you know, pull my brothers together. We start pushing in the same direction. Yeah.
Speaking of your brothers, we have an acquaintance mwenye tunajuana pamoja, King Bilari. Na King Bilari pia amejulikana kwa hip hop industry. Na he speaks highly of you in terms of hip hop.
Nashukuru sana.
Nao sasa tuseme kuna watu wale sasa unaona kama wanafanya Kenya inafaa in terms of hip hop huko Kenya.
Yeah, a lot of young guys are doing it when inafaa. Some of my bros pia wenye tuko from the same class pia wana do it when inafaa. Shout out Bilari manze, najua huko Dallas, but
really tutoroka.
Bado tuko pamoja man. Si ubonga man, it's all good. So yeah, a lot of guys wenye wanafanya the new school when wako right now in the market wanna do a pretty good job of, you know, just expressing themselves the best way they can, and just disrupting the order yani, hiyo ndo kitu ya muhimu yani. And you know, rap has always been about that. Rap has never been politically correct. Hip hop has never been, you know, it's never been everyone's cup of tea yani, but it's someone's cup of tea regardless yani.
Now let's get into the topic of content. The conversation ya content in music, and especially in hip hop in Kenya, imekuwa the main topic of conversation whenever someone talks about music in Kenya, right?
Yeah, man.
So what do you think? What are your thoughts in terms of content in Kenyan music?
Unajua palipo na moshi, panakonga na moto.
So do you feel like there's truth when people say hakuna content?
Okay, so content is there because content is content, whether it's good or it's bad. Nanipata ni yote ni content, nanifeel, but I think we as musicians need to listen kidogo.
Listen to the fans.
Tusikize tu hiyo kitu kidogo yenye tunaambiwa, because I feel like we do this for the fans anyway. Nanipata. As much as music is therapy for the artist, and you know, for his well-being and business for him as well, at the end of the day tunaifanyia wase fulani ndo consumers. So
And the customer is always?
Yeah, the customer is always right, even when he's wrong. But I'd like to think everyone can't be saying something that's not valid. So I think guys wanasemanga story ya content or creativity, because they'd like to compare us to our counterparts when wanatoka in other countries, like mse akisikiza K-Force alafu askize MI ama askize Feed Q ama askize Joe Makini, guys would like to us to be that competitive. So me was take negatively when guys say that Kenyan music doesn't have like good content in it or it's not creative enough. Me, I take it as a challenge. Nafikirianga niaje for this person to say hiyo Kenya amesema, he has to have a basis yenye imefanya akasema kitu
kuna mali imetokea.
So me to me udu ni mi uelewa that niaje these guys would like us to be competitive like guys from other countries. Anataka akisikia Caspanyo Vest, anataka akisikia Calligraph. I feel the same, man. I feel like
they belong in the same place.
Unajua hip hop is a global genre. Na hata hizi zingine zenye wase wanafanya like the gengeton, see, that's pretty much hip hop still.
That's very interesting.
It's just African hip hop.
Exactly. I think it's also to the advantage of the artist.
Exactly.
When you put yourself in a position where you can compete internationally. But now on the same topic of content, in 2018, there's a song you did that was actually, different from any other K-Force song. Letter to Mama.
Yeah, man.
Tell me about that song and ilitokea happy in terms of the lyrics, the content.
Yeah, so that's actually one of my favorite songs, yani. But not to take all the credit, ni boy wangu anaitwa Mr. K4. Shout out, I know you're watching. Yende li come up na the idea. Akaniambia ni aje bro, you've never made a song for your mom and neither have I. Nanipata, so akaniambia if we can, just put our thoughts together and make a project to yenye appreciate all our moms, and then we drop it on Mother's Day. Inaweza kakua a dope idea. So that's exactly what we did.
What did she think?
My mom has always been like one of my biggest supporters, so it was about time that at least pia askie kitu yenye appreciate too. And it wasn't for my mom actually. This was for all the moms that had to put up with a lot for you and me to be here and be
sacrificed a lot.
Manze, it's really difficult, especially coming from a background kayangu. Uko mtaani is very hard to raise an upstanding like young man mwenye ako responsible
member of society.
Inakwanga ni ngumu sana because there's so many challenges that come with coming from the slum and just growing up in place penye iko impoverished kiasi. Unanipata wase wengi, not everyone like has a straight and clear path in front of them. Wase wengi upotea, wengine upotea, then wanapatikana tena, wanapotea, wanajipata. So it's really a lot that our moms had to, I'm not saying our dads are in the picture, but unajua madhinda nakuaga mostly enda najuanga pali huko kenye unafanya, unajua mzae so your mom hata wewe how it was, yani unajua kuna time tulikuwa tunawasumbua, kuna time yenye ilikuwa wanajaribu to protect yani from all these negative elements zenye tuna have to deal nazo as young men growing up nini. So that was just to appreciate them yani, and just tell them that we're here and we'll try to carry on and possibly be even better parents when that time comes.
Hiyo ni kali by the way. Kama hujapata opportunity ya kucheck out K-Force's song Letter to Mama, be sure to go on YouTube on his channel and check it out, featuring KE4.
Yeah, Mr.
Was also
K4.
your business partner.
Yeah, so tuko na a new label yenye tunai start up. Of course I have my number 9 music label hiyo iko up and running already, but this is a merger, so inaitwa number 9 Skyline. we're still trying to set up.
Artists?
So the issue is COVID to piga kiboko kiasi, so we had to take a step back kidogo, but we're still trying to restructure, and hopefully by the end of the year ama mid-year tutakuwa tushamaliza ku set up the new label, and hopefully the new studio pia itakuwa imemalizika.
And you're doing a lot of big things. You just talked about Number 9 Skyline, and of course you also have a video production going on. And the new song On Jivo. But before we talk about all those things, of course we're also going to dive deeper into your background, Vilo Mesema. But before that, let's take a short break and we'll be right back.
The Government of Kenya adopted Universal Health Coverage, UHC, as one of the Big Four priority agenda, with an aspiration that by 2022, all citizens will have access to quality healthcare services that they need without getting into financial hardships. Don't suffer in silence. Visit the nearest healthcare facility and access affordable healthcare services that are now offered under the Universal Health Coverage benefit package delivered through NHIF. For those who can afford, please remember to pay the monthly contribution of 500 shillings. The government has put mechanisms for assisting those who cannot afford to pay. Register biometrically at the nearest NHIF office. Your family's health matters to us. NHIF. Leave no one behind.
Kupitia uongozi wa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, serikali imetekeleza miradi kadhaa ya ujenzi wa nyumba za bei nafuu kwa manufaa ya Wakenya. Wiki hii kwenye Project 254.
I have said it before, but I'll say it again. Kenyans made it clear that they want to live in decent homes.
Rais Uhuru Kenyatta amejali mtu wa chini sana, kwa sababu nyumba kama hizi ukienda ununue hata uwanja yako uanze kujenga itakukosti hata sana.
Siku hizi tunakaa makao mazuri, tunakaa nyumba nzuri. Zamani hatukuwa na choo, tulikuwa na tupa, lakini siku hizi hatutupi.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Hamujatikadija? Kwani mnamuvu suro aje?
Come on, just snap out of it. Please, you will kill us.
My people, ladies and gentlemen, my biggest barrier has been answered.
Now, that is a perfect example of a nightmare. Hey!
I know you should see her. She's mwah. Oh, there goes my time. Get my books and bring them to the staff.
Okay.
Classmates, every Saturday on KBC.
Welcome back to Good Morning Kenya. We're having a conversation with hip-hop legend, living legend, Kevo K-Force.
Yeah, man.
Now we were talking about your upbringing.
Yeah.
Umeongea vile, there's a way I could rub off because of your upbringing.
Yeah, man.
Tell us how your upbringing really influenced your music in terms of your content.
Najua ukikwanga firstborn, kuna gongana luxuries zingine zenye you don't get to enjoy when you're firstborn. You, especially kama unatoka mtaani, you have to like set a good example by default. It's not even a choice, yani. When you feel
everyone is looking at you.
Yeah, manze, na unajua mimi niko na siblings kibao, so there's some things that other guys used to do that I couldn't.
Was it a lot of pressure?
As in, me believe God is kenye wezi handle unanipata, so ilikuwa pressure, but it's the good kind of pressure, the kind of pressure that motivates you and pushes you in the right direction. It's the kind of pressure that you know, just molds you into a tougher and more sober individual that can, you know, pretty much handle anything in come your way. So it's not the bad kind of pressure yenye itakudepress ama ikumake sijui aje. Ni pressure inakumold,
inakufunza.
Yeah.
Speaking of kufunzwa, you've had a lot of gigs, a lot of odd jobs over the course of your life. Now you've been a painter?
Yeah, man, kuna chora ma signs.
When unachora ma signs, you've sold apparel.
Hey, nimekinda ma apparel, ma t-shirts, ma nini, ma viatu.
Unaona kati hizo odd jobs zote zenye umekuwa nazo, ni gani imekufunza the most life lessons?
Kuna moja yenye hata sijaiambia wasee, na wasiambiwa wasee. So unaona nikiwa young ile, hata I think niko bado high school, like and slightly after high school kidogo. So nilikuwa na job ya kuwekanga posters.
Ile unapaka kwa mti.
Posters za crusade.
Lakini sio watu sana kwa ukuta inakogelea.
Na alafu unajua, so hiyo ndo kitu ilini teach a lot, because nilikuwa unajua ni job yenye ni weird because you have to do it at odd hours. No one is gonna let you like put posters on their walls kawa naona mchana.
So unamka usiku wa manane,
so
natayarisha makaratasi na glue.
Hii ni job yenye inaanzaga midnight.
Wow.
Unashika
when everyone is asleep,
when everyone is gone, yani not everyone, kuna watu fulani wenye walikuwa nawapatana nao, and so ilikuwa ni kitu ilinifanya nikaona niaje life inaweza kuwa ngumu, but pia you like that toughness that comes from within, yani ni kitu yenye as in most people aren't born tough, ni circumstances ndo zufanya msana kuwa mtough. Unanipata, because I used to do the job with guys, si kwanga peke yangu, nikwanga na hire some help. Mimi niko tu napata the job and then I hire guys, and then kuna wenye wanaenda different direction, kuna wenye wanaenda.
Kwa hivyo hata back then bado ulikuwa entrepreneur.
Baya sana manze.
Umeanza kudelegate.
Yeah, it's because I had to take care of myself from kitambo, yani ilibidi nijituje kwa mother. Unapata, so na hiyo pesa si ati ilikuwa inapatikana rahisi. So I used to be a very church going young man, so me and my homies used to get easy ma tender tu za kuweka hizo posters za crusades. You remember when crusades were big, before televangelism took everything
before
over.
Social media as well.
Before televangelists were take over, kulikuwa na hiyo time yenye crusades ilikuwa big business, na I tend to wonder why hizi crusades zinakwanga tu in the slums manze, because mi sijaiona crusade uko Runda hata moja.
That is actually a very interesting question, and we'll try to cover that later on to your music.
Yeah, man.
Onjivo is the latest track. But before we talk about Onjivo, there's a conversation that's been brewing. Not si ya juzi peke yake, imekuwa ikibrew for a long time, lakini ni kama tunaanza kuona ina escalate in its own way.
Okay.
In December, you released a track.
Yeah.
Nyumba Kumi. We all know. Okay, the people who love hip hop, we all know.
Yeah.
Who it's directed to.
Yeah.
Lakini let's have a conversation about Nyumba Kumi.
What kind?
Nini li inspire hiyo wimbo?
It's just a song like any other song. I had to set the record straight about some things that I felt zilikuwa zinani misrepresent, yani nanipata. So, and you know, this is hip hop manze. anytime you have an issue, you feel, anytime you're sad, you make a sad song. Anytime you want to appreciate your mom, you make a song on that as well. Anytime you're feeling like you're happy, you make a happy song. So anytime you want to address something that you feel is contentious or needs to be out there, most times, like me as K-Force, I don't do interviews to address situations. Me, I prefer to make music and, just put my thoughts out there and, just air my opinion without necessarily looking for clout and going to radio stations to talk about things and TV stations to talk about things. Me, I prefer to just make the music, put it out there and call it bygones. So in that case, nearly feel like I felt like the person I was addressing was stepping on my toes, and I bet he thought I'd do nothing.
Can we mention some names?
No, it was clear.
Who will not be mentioned.
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube, so it's in the public
Do your own
domain.
research.
It's in the public domain anyway. So names or no names, I felt like Octopizzo. I felt like Octopizzo did an interview. And in the interview, I think he got excited and misrepresented the facts, kidogo, nanifeel. And I waited for him to correct the situation. I waited for him to just set the record straight, but he didn't. He kept doing it. So, and me, me, I'm not very big on interviews. Me, I'm very big on music. Though.
The booth in your Mali.
So me, hata sahi, niki feel like niaje, I need to talk about something or get anything. See, like I told you, music is therapy first for me before it's entertainment for you. You feel me? It's therapy for me, then it's entertainment for you. So anytime I feel like I need to get something off my chest, and that's what hip hop is. Hip hop ni place penye tukona like freedom ya kuji-express like the way we want. And you feel like that artistic license, rappers take it like miles further. So yeah, anytime you feel disrespected, you talk about it, especially in your music. And I'm not the first person to do it, and neither am I gonna be the last. So in that case,
do you feel like it was quashed? Because also, I don't know how true this is. Hopefully you'll be able to confirm this. There's an audio that surfaced about a month ago. You know what I'm talking about. It was a confrontation between you and the other party.
Okay.
Do you feel like it's quashed, or do you feel like it's now escalating to another point where, microphone do itaongea sasa?
If it's anything, yani, me, I feel like that's nothing to me, man. Me, I was just setting the record straight. I could care less like how anyone else takes it. That was my take on it, and I feel so. And I was honest. It wasn't even a diss track. It was just me, saying what I feel and stating some obvious facts. Manipata. It's like I just rapped what everyone was thinking. Manipata. So I don't like to think that I stepped on anyone's toes. I was just being me and speaking the truth. Because he said that was his truth.
And so, in hip-hop, of course, you are allowed.
Yeah, tuko allowed na, as in, ini art, manze, ni art form, yani. Hata we pale kejani, manze, kuna time yenye ukiamka, you're not on the same page with your girlfriend, but that, it's not finality, is it?
Life moves on.
It's not final. Like, watu kosana,
let's move on from this conversation.
Even with your bro, you kosana, you elewana. So me...
Lakini bado mtasikizana eventually. Hopefully mtapata opportunity ya kukaa chini.
Ni music, na ni art, na unajua rap inakuanga na egos. Sometimes egos clash, but like I said, nothing is final. It's not like tumekosana or anything.
Let me sidetrack for a minute and just tell you, as a fan, I would love to see a collaboration.
Yeah, that's what I'm always about. Actually, there's already a collaboration from back in the day, but hopefully we can, cross that bridge and things are awkward or uncomfortable, and just move on to better things. Because at the end of the day, me, I like to think that everybody, when you make hip hop music, will support. Everybody. Like, there's no rapper uku Nairobi
And it's not just hip hop that
Mwenye.
you support. I've been looking at your social media pages.
Yeah, man.
You're supporting even singers.
Yeah, man. Ata Nikita, that's my girl, man. Like we share the same producer, and so me, as long as you're Kenyan and doing what you're doing the way
Good
you're
music,
supposed to do it, yani.
Yeah.
Me, I'm in your corner all day, every day, man. So easy ni vitu tu za social media. They come to pass, yani. They come to pass. They come
Now
to
to
pass.
wanasikizana eventually.
Yeah, man.
Nice. And now your new track. Onjivo.
Yeah.
First and foremost, kuna watu saizi wanaangalia like there's a certain demographic.
Yeah.
I won't mention the demographic, but they're looking at the TV. They're like, "What do you mean Onjivo? Wamesikia Onjivo. Bibi ya Onjivo sijui nini." So what does Onjivo really mean?
So Onjivo ni chief tu.
Chief.
Unanipata? Onjivo tu ni chief. Like commander in chief huo ni Onjivo in chief.
Onjivo in chief.
So Onjivo ni chief tu na ni shenge wase wanatumia like lately. Unajua shengo ina evolve yani. So when people call you chief, it's like they wanna view as a leader or as someone that they look up to. So it's not just everyone that gets to be called chief. When you feel so mtaani, like the young homies talk, hey manze, what's good chief? Yeah, hey Onjivo bana nini. So me and my boy K4 as usual tukamwaniaje, let's just make a thing out of it and just turn it into a record. So we did the record, did the video, got it out there, and it's actually an old song. Guys just don't know. But it's an old song.
It was unreleased, it was somewhere within the.
It was just unreleased. It's from 2019. Imagine. So I'll be honest. Me, I don't lie. It's an old song that we decided to breathe some new life into it, yani. So yeah, ilikuwa tu ni venye wase ukuview, yani. So ukionanga msanii anaitwa chief. It's a title. It's a title.
Kavule ni Onjivo.
Yeah, man, kabisa.
Vile K-Force ni Onjivo kwa hii hip hop industry.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So ni my young bro ndo alikuwa ananiita Onjivo, so tukai turn into a thing tu yani.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're going to get an opportunity to see K-Force performing Onjivo. But before that, new projects, what's in store?
There's a lot of music out there, manze. In fact, I don't think hata kuna mtu akona more music out there kuniliko. So all you gotta do is just go on Boomplay, search K-Force, stream and download all that, yani. Ingia huko YouTube, search K-Force TV, watch, subscribe, download, do whatever you want, manze. Number 9 Skyline is also on YouTube. My other channel, Fresh Bars Friday, is also on YouTube. Upon Malisiu support all the young guys who are trying to do this hip-hop thing the right way. So, ingia uko ndani manze, make yourself known. Holla at the team if you're an artist, yani. Hopefully they'll reach out to you and we see if we can make something happen. So, you already know, man. Follow me on Instagram, niko uko ndani pia. Okay, not very much, but I'm in there. I'm in there still. Yeah.
Safi kabisa. That was K-Force.
Yeah.
Kevo.
Yeah.
Hiyo ingine government ndaikanyagia?
Utaikanyagia, but the truth always comes out.
The truth always comes out.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for gracing our studios with your presence.
Nashukuru sana.
We wish you nothing but the best. And we're waiting for the new album, by the way.
The new album, manze, is in the kitchen, is in the pipeline. Bado tunaipika.
Itakuwa solely produced by Number 9 Skyline?
Yeah, the
collaborations.
Executive produced by Number 9 Music, Number 9 Skyline, but the producers when you wataka huko ndani, like the creative producers, wako kibao. Some surprises, some collaborations as well, nini. So, bado tunaipika tu. As soon as it's ready, we'll hit you up and see if we can.
Hopefully we'll get an exclusive.
Bro, by default, man. By default.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Next up, ni K-Force with Onjivo.
Nataka turoge Onjivo. Let's do it.
Yours, we tell it. dimanga flow ya mkanga wananihanda niko bez na wabaya kame Ivana venyo na chana cheza mashori kesi maraga pati matanga kila mtaa imejipa nikipitanga wanasemanga yeah buda mionji vo staki maombi bro yeah na watu wateke jo kanimetoa nyege I got to go switch buda mionji vo staki maombi bro na watu wateke jo kanimetoa nyege I got to go switch bitch what you think this is you know you don't pay my bills wezi ni cut fish kila beat na acha disease to the city na die the keys vibe feeling free you ain't hear my shit for free so you better pay the fee usitry kuchafua rada hapa tutaki stories za nakada jeshi useti mashada si tunawajibikanga tangu siku tulikuwa wachanga vijana waliharibikanga wengine tulishaenda matanga RP to the gang now we back for the whole thing tangu day one yeah maintain number 8 mindo captain usiku sako ni young vigeti nikitouch pen usiku sako yani past 10 niko active na jeshi na Mark 10 lazy niggas out here hating again Squad ya dimanga flow ya mkanga wananihanda niko bez na wabaya kame Ivana venyo na chana cheza mashori kesi maraga pati matanga kila mtaa imejipa nikipitanga wanasemanga yeah buda mionji vo staki maombi bro yeah na watu wateke jo kanimetoa nyege I got to go switch buda mionji vo staki maombi bro na watu wateke jo kanimetoa nyege I got to go switch if what you think this is you know you don't pay my bills wezi ni cut fish kila beat na acha disease to the city na die the keys vibe feeling free you ain't hear my shit for free so you better pay the fee usitry kuchafua rada hapa tutaki stories za nakada jeshi useti mashada si tunawajibikanga tangu siku tulikuwa wachanga vijana waliharibikanga wengine tulishaenda matanga RP to the gang now we back for the whole thing tangu day one yeah maintain number 8 mindo captain na si chocha nilishapen mini young vigeti nikitouch pen usiku sako yani past 10 niko active na jeshi na Mark 10 lazy niggas out here hating again I told them you never see me again back at it and we stacking again 6 since a nigga stepped in the game diverse so I'm never the same kwanga na ngoja my turn lakini squeezy na wa burn ni noma mtani kwa slam hadi kijana menunua gun yeah tangu kitambo walai hadi squeezy na seti mangwai hapa hakuna masai wajanja unaweza uliza the guys tangu kitambo walai hadi squeezy na seti mangwai squeezy ni noma walai najua jeshi wachapia mandai tangu kitambo walai hadi squeezy na seti mangwai hapa hakuna masai wajanja unaweza uliza the guys tangu kitambo walai hadi squeezy na seti mangwai squeezy ni noma walai najua jeshi wachapia mandai onji vo staki maombi bro yeah na watu wateke jo kanimetoa nyege I got to go switch buda mionji vo staki maombi bro na watu wateke jo kanimetoa nyege I got to go switch if what you think this is you know you don't pay my bills wezi ni cut fish kila beat na acha disease to the city na die the keys vibe feeling free you ain't hear my shit for free so you better pay the fee.
Yeah, I'm stacking the cheese, I'm cutting the checks, Buddha na Ivisha. Yeah, I'm making it rain, young sana tingisha. Hey, he trend on my bloggers, kondiko puzi, nani alianzisha. Hey, the way I move, the way I'm working, Buddha ina katisha. Hey, when you weak, wajinyonge, champagne kwa kikombe, beat nayo igonge, hook nayo ichoche. Hey, kawa ni best na njege, kula block hadi kembe. If you ain't rolling with the gang, araku pesi jiokote. Dream chasers to pepe. Get guap kadangote, stay fly out day, take shots like all day, make plays like Broadway, niggas suck like a bad day, drop a tape on my birthday, all this rap in my birthplace.
Yeah, buda mionji vo, staki maombi bro, yeah, na watu wateke jo, kanimetoa nyege I got to go, switch, buda mionji vo, staki maombi bro, na watu wateke jo, kanimetoa nyege I got to go, switch, if what you think this is, you know you don't pay my bills, wezi ni cut fish kila beat na acha disease to the city na die the keys vibe feeling free you ain't hear my shit for free so you better pay the fee.
Yeah, Garapona Jona mdishi, ghostwriter pia mwandishi. Ndani ya booth buda mi mpishi, wananiogopa kaibilisi. Buda wenani bro, babu naleta ina gani bro. Shida za ganji, jo ujui Kenya rapa za wakanji bro. Hizo mapepo, rizo king tags, bada jafisho. Masus kinjiga, pay buda, bado nafuata procedure. Kusanfujinga, painting, buda, hakuna fishes. You say you sick, power mic, unashikwa na kafiva.
The keys, vibe, feeling free. You ain't hear my shit for free, so you better pay the fee. Usitry kuchafua rada, hapa tutaki stories za nakada. Jeshi useti mashada, si tunawajibikanga tangu siku tulikuwa wachanga. Vijana waliharibikanga, wengine tulishaenda matanga. RIP to the gang gang, now we back for the whole thing. Tangu day one, yeah, maintain. Number 9 mi ndo captain, na si chocha nilishapen. Mi ni young vigeti nikitouch pen. Usiku sako yani past 10, niko active na jeshi na Mark 10. Lazy niggas out here hating again. I told them you never see me again. Back at it and we stacking again. 6 since a nigga stepped in the game. Diverse so I'm never the same. Kwanga nangoja my turn, lakini squeezy na wa burn. Ninoma mtani kwa slam, hadi kijana menunua gun. Yeah, tangu kitambo walai, hadi squeezy na seti mangwai. Hapa hakuna masai, wajanja uneza uliza the guys. Tangu kitambo walai, hadi squeezy na seti mangwai. Squeezy ni noma walai, najua jeshi watapia mandai. Tangu kitambo walai, hadi squeezy na seti mangwai. Hapa hakuna masai, wajanja uneza uliza the guys. Tangu kitambo walai, hadi squeezy na seti mangwai. Squeezy ni noma walai, najua jeshi watapia mandai. Saki maombi bro, yeah, na watu wateke
Kali sana. I'm telling you, that was Kevo K-Force with Onjivo. Unaona ilibidi tumekujoin.
Imebidi. Nimeshukuru.
But now that I'm standing up, I feel like sitting down again. As you can see, the height difference. I always tell you, you're too tall, my friend.
See, maybe
you make me look bad.
See, you're tall
and I'm not that short.
See, you're tall at heart.
I'm tall at heart. Unanichomea bana. Una bana.
You're talking about yourself.
Is she though? Sinaona kama natoshana. Si wamevaa heels.
You always have a
So that is the power of hip hop. Ukumbuke unaweza pata Onjivo, the new track, and of course vile Kevo K-Force amesema, there's nothing but good music in store this 2022.
Yeah man, the new album coming out. So tukae rada. Keep supporting Kenyan music yani, and if you're already supporting it, support it some more. You already know what it is.
Zaidi.
Yeah.
Do people buy CDs anymore?
No. So kitaka the music manze, ingia on boomplay.com of course. Just search Kevo K-Force. The music is in there. The music is also on Spotify. It's on iTunes. Ukitaka unaweza ingia huko ndani, unaweza pia nipata kwa YouTube, Kevo K-Force TV, number 9 Skyline as well, and Fresh Buzz Friday. So yeah, unaweza support the boy hivyo tu yani. It's that easy.
Jane.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Anaweza angalia hapa nani anaweza recruit ka dancer.
I think by the way, when I was recruiting for Kevo. I think mwenye amefaulu ni Stephanie.
Yani hata Jane ameanguka.
Jane ameanguka. Nasema kwa nini Jane ameanguka?
Yani hata
kuna zenye alipiga zile kwa zinakaza R&B.
It's because she already has a job.
But of course the final decision
yeah.
Unaweza angalia hii video tena uone ni nani.
Hapana. Hiyo itakuwa fair because you guys already have a job.
No, but inakuwa part of the hustle. You know, in this country you have a hustle and a hustle and a hustle.
Sasa unajua kuna watu wana kazi. So afadhali nyinyi mko na job already. Unanipata. So itakuwa fair kwa wase wenye wako na job, wenye wanatafuta job already. So tuna create more employment ama
Nice. Thank you so much for coming through Kevo K-Force. Kumbuka kila Thursday, this and every Thursday, Entertainment Thursday. It's the new Friday, vile wanasema. Until next time.
Kaboom.
Cheers.
abreast of the developments live from the National Assembly and the Senate.
Honourable members of Parliament.
The questions.
When is the construction expected to commence?
The motions.
Beg to give notice for the following motion.
The debate.
Will as many as want to be to say aye?
The statements.
A statement on an issue of general topical concern.
The petitions.
Order number 4, petitions.
Stay tuned to KBC Channel 1 and Radio Taifa for live proceedings from both houses of Parliament from Tuesday to Thursday. Live, uncensored, unedited. KBC, your national broadcaster.